Now, to tell you the truth, I'm sort of burnt out on talking about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's just a job, really, you know, something to keep me moving. My real passion is my hobby.
Really? What's that?
I work with retards.
Isn't that a little politically, incorrect?
Oh, the hell with that. No one's gonna tell me who I can and can't work with, right?
No, I mean...
We got this one kid.
Leslie Headland.
He's got a forehead like a drive-in movie theater, but he's a good shit. So we don't bust his chops too much.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Yes, yes. What? You gotta answer this. You gotta.
How do you think Leslie Headland got the green light for the Acolyte?
You gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me? It's Hollywood, baby.
Transition. All right, welcome back to another Thirsty Thursdays, where we are going to be killing extra brain cells talking about the Acolyte. Join us, dear viewer, as we dive back into the raging dumpster fire that is Disney Star Wars and the cesspool that's modern Hollywood. Hey, guys.
Hey.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Cheers.
What's going on?
Yeah, so we got a full house today,
Oh, yeah.
including two awesome guests that have appeared on Open Bar. First up, Dark Hour. What's up, Dark Hour?
Not much. Good to finally be on with you.
Yeah.
You know, we've been talking for what, like over a year now about trying to stream together.
And I was trying to catch your Resident Evil live streams, and like you haven't been. Did you beat the game already, or did I miss?
Oh
something?
yeah, I mean I beat those games hundreds of times, but like I was just bored, and I didn't have any specific thing I wanted to review or anything. So I was like, I'm just gonna play games for a while and see how that works. And it was okay.
Hey, I tuned in. It was pretty awesome. Brought back memories of Resident Evil 2 and, my anxiety level.
I played the Resident Evil 3. I played on the hard mode and tried to kill Nemesis over and over again. I kept dying, so I have to put together like a compilation of me just like dying and cursing off the screen. This is great.
Dude, Nemesis sucked.
Those games are hard. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Badger?
What's going on, man? How are you? Sorry, I had to edit that since your name tags are huge, and
It's
that's
like all
all anyone sees. I am doing well. Yeah, you know me, I'm doing the normal grind, 3 videos a day. You can catch me streaming every day on my channel or with Nerd Wars, and then every Monday with Chris Gore on Film Threat. Read super chats, talk about fun things like the Acolyte. I'm sure things we'll talk about tonight. But yeah, good to finally stream with Dark Hour, and nice to meet Slav and Ben here. And yeah. Slav.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, let's introduce the newcomers. Slav, tell us about yourself.
What's going on? Yeah, Slav's Free Talk is my channel. Pop culture is what I talk about. I've been into podcasts and YouTube game, not as long as podcasting, but been doing it for about 7 or 8 years now. YouTube things sort of just starting to take off over the last 6 months for me, which is kind of neat. And yeah, I'm trying to make my rounds now. This is what I'm trying to do. I want to get around onto different podcasts, different YouTube shows and stuff like that. So this is what I'm doing. And like I said, my YouTube's starting to take off a little bit. I'm liking it. And, you kind of hit me up, I guess it was about a month ago.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, let's check out the show. I checked out your channel, liked what I saw. I was like, heck yeah, let's get this thing going. And here we are.
Yeah. And Ben, I got introduced to you through Kyle. Tell us about yourself. I didn't have your social media to post, so if you want to send that to me and I can append it later. Yeah, tell us about yourself.
Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for having me on first and foremost. I'm an aspiring actor out of the Austin area of Texas. I met Kyle on a set a couple years ago, and we were quickly good pals. Share a lot of the same interests and viewpoints of life. And so I'm not just an aspiring actor. I'd like to eventually get behind the camera as well. And
Nice.
As you can imagine, I'm obsessed with movies. You know,
Yeah, I saw
don't
you
see
guys.
acting as like, oh, I just want to be famous. Like, I see it as an art form and it's storytelling. I love it. So there you go.
Well, we all do. And I saw you guys sitting around a fireplace or like a fire pit. It was a good discussion.
Thanks. We had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we recorded. There are actually a whole bunch of other videos that we have that I haven't released yet of us talking about different topics. It's basically a live stream, but in front of a campfire out back at my place.
Phenomenal.
And yeah, so the video that is on my channel is us speculating about Scream 7. And that was a fun little chat amongst many, which may see the light of day.
Kyle through Hardcut.
Say again, Paul?
I know Kyle through you guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah, Kyle hit us up like...
We're creating our own fellowship.
A year ago. When, like, I think you found us from like one of our shorts or something.
Yeah.
And you were like, we should do a live stream. And then now to date, that's the only successful like live stream we've had on our channel. It's the one we did with you. And we still got to fix whatever problem we had when we tried to do that one a couple months ago.
Yeah,
I'm anticipating the next.
No, yeah.
Kyle and I did one behind the scenes about Fallout at the time. No one saw it, but it was
it was a great conversation. We heard most of it, but we just couldn't join.
We got deep into Fallout. We did a deep dive for Fallout, yeah.
And Sin's joining us, missing out on long legs.
Yes, just to hang with you guys. I hope you all feel very special.
We do. And one thing I got to shout out, which I've been texting back and forth, you know who you are, with Kyle. He's at 991 subs. Everybody get out there. Like, the goal for tonight is get him over that 1,000. 9 more, guys. Just 9 more. Go hit up Kyle's channel. I'm going to keep saying it because we got to get you over that hump.
Well, I want to say that to everyone and everyone listening, how great Paul Off the Cover has been for pushing that number and being really encouraging about that. So I mirror the same message, guys. You can help me cross that 1,000 mark and beyond. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess it's time to introduce the drink of the night. In honor of Argentina making the Copa America final, I have a Quilmes, which is an Argentinian beer, and I'm going to pop it open right now. What's everybody else working with?
I didn't realize I needed something, so I'll get
something.
Yeah.
You know what I realized? I don't think I want to say the brand because
I got some of my tequila left. So
I'm waiting.
You'll need that for the Acolyte.
Kyle's got a case of Bud Light coming. Right?
Well, I can say. So it's a bourbon. Now. It's a bourbon. Pretty much that's my choice of drink every time. But I don't think I want to say the brand. You know?
You're gonna make me think of a worse. I was gonna think it was.
I guess.
No. It's good. It's very good. I'm waiting. If you want a little.
That's good. The grifting you've learned. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't care. I'm just drinking Kirkland brand coffee.
Because when you think about it, we're already plugging a whole bunch of other products, right? By talking about movies and TV shows. You know?
What's one more, right?
I'm really good at plugging fake products. I don't know if anybody has seen my fake advertisements in my videos recently.
Oh no, I haven't checked that out. Shit.
You feel free to pull one up. I'm not gonna stop you.
I guess we can jump into the Acolyte, or do you guys want to talk about Gladiator 2? Any other developments?
I don't think the dogs like that you just said.
Yeah. Definitely don't like Acolyte.
Not.
Right,
that was like a Frau Bluka moment right there.
Cow.
Nice.
Has everyone seen the Gladiator 2 trailer?
That's one of the worst trailers I've seen in a long time.
If you give me like 2 minutes, I'll go watch it.
I mean, that being said, it still looks better, I guess, than I thought it was going to look.
Same cinematographer.
I'm just talking about like the art of making a movie trailer. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So, but the movie itself, better than I thought it was going to look, but
it's
still
the rap
no
music.
I just the rap music.
Yes, Badger. Yes.
What?
Yeah,
There's
why.
rap
By the way,
music?
there's a bunch of original
Jay-Z
songs
soundtrack
coming.
that didn't fit the time period.
And there's going to be original rap songs in the movie, so it's
my
not
God.
just
Are you
No,
serious?
put it in the movie time period. What the hell are you doing?
bunch of different original songs.
It's because Denzel is
Yeah, Maximus Alonso.
Yeah.
Honestly, Alonso just doesn't do it for me in a Gladiator movie. Like, of course there was black people in the Roman Empire, but like that specific one.
You need that like epic Hans Zimmer score in there. You know what I mean? Like,
And they should have just brought Damon Hinchey back.
It's literally the blueprint of Gladiator. Denzel's playing Proximo, a freed slave who owns literally it looks like the same goddamn little parchment in North Africa where becomes a slave and then goes fights who this time will be Pedro. And Pedro looks like he's playing evil Maximus. Like Maximus if he sold out and took the deal in the beginning.
So is Pedro supposed to be the
He's
MC?
a general. No, he's some general.
But is he going to be like the main character?
No, he's the bad guy. Yeah, no, the main character is Lucian, the kid who now they're saying is Maximus's secret son.
Now they've gone and done that.
Which you could have inferred or it was hinted at, even though he says I knew his father and they're very specific, but you could still infer that like, man, maybe they had sex right before and he went off to go start a family and then it's his, but whatever.
It's like it's Bruce Wayne versus Harvey Dent situation, isn't it? There it is.
Right, so the trailer's fine, but then they put in because Dark Hour, I saw his face switch. It's when they put in the rap music that it turns.
I was like literally the whole time. I'm like, what are they talking about?
Because Coliseum filling with water's dope. They really did that. It's really impressive. Engineering.
Ridley finally got his rhinoceros scene. So.
I like the rhino. That rhino was cool. That was pretty awesome.
I heard
and the rhino already had blood on it, so it's like they cut towards later in the fight scene. You know that the rhino fucked people up. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I was as I'm watching, I'm like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? And then all of a sudden the music kicked in. I was like, I see.
So
do you have the dislike plugin?
I mean,
I heard it's got more dislikes.
It was ratioed for sure. It took a minute, but
I'll pull it back up. I didn't actually see.
Yeah, no worries.
I heard someone complain, or I saw someone complaining on Twitter, like, how come every time a black person comes on screen, they have to show some sort of rap music? I had no idea.
That's Yellow Flash.
Did not know this was in relation to the Gladiator trailer, though, because I haven't watched it. I'm not going to watch it.
The first trailer for Gladiator, I remember in the theaters, had the Conan music. Dun, 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 dun. I was like, what is this? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This general who became a slave. The slave who became... Yeah, it was great. Not rap music. They didn't have... whoever would have been popular. They had P. Diddy or Will Smith at the time getting jiggy with it.
What year did Gladiator come out?
Like late 90,
2000.
2000.
Yeah. Well, when was it shot and the marketing? Yeah.
I remember watching it on my laptop freshman year in college. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not listening to this lecture that I have to attend. I'm just going to put on Gladiator on mute and just watch.
This trailer, though, it was too long. It was 3 minutes, and it bored me to death. Like, it really bored me to death. It was... At first, I was like, is this going to be a war movie? Because that's what it kind of seemed like it was going to be at one point. Like, is this a war movie? Which, okay, I could get behind that. But then it's back to the Gladiator stuff. And then they continuously beat to death, like, hey, Maximus. And I'm like, okay,
the ring,
we get it.
The sword, the armor.
You know, like, we get it. Like, maybe showing
it
once or twice.
I got it. I remember.
We get it.
His name in English on the wall, but like Roman calligraphy.
Yeah, it was just, I get that you want to say it's a sequel. I get that, but they did it like 4 or 5 times in this trailer, and like I said, it really did bore me to death. At a certain point, it was just like, is it over yet? Like, what is this story about? Why do we need this? And it was just not a good trailer. I want it to be good. The first one is a classic film at this point. It's one that I think everybody has great reverence for. Whatever, you know, like everybody loves that first one, but do we need this one? I don't know.
I just think that regardless whether it's good or not, it still is just unnecessary. And I'm getting it's just like how you had 300 and then the second 300 came out. Was anyone asking for that movie? No one gave a shit.
Oh, geez. Now you're talking about Zack Snyder stuff. Now people are going to get pissed, all right?
The worst part about the second 300 was it wasn't even based on a comic. It was, they wrote the comic after the movie was made.
Exactly.
It was done in the exact ass backwards order.
Yep.
Yeah. Are they really doing like Russell Crowe's character is supposed to be the father of the kid?
Yeah, they're saying that it's Lucian, that is
like
his secret son.
He's so like,
and it's going to be a beat for beat remake of the first one, but with him in the Maximus role, and
but that's what makes
the
first one so good, because he's so like like his family dies, and it's like all he's thinking about. Like he's not thinking about this other kid and like that he didn't have.
Hold on a second.
I mean, maybe it was like there was speculation there, but like.
Hold on a second. So this means that
he cheated on his wife,
fucked another woman, impregnated her, and then the
That's
whole
usually what
movie,
happens,
the emotional core of that movie is him trying to get back to his family. So the wife is in the afterlife. Come through the wheat fields, honey. Come. Not knowing that he cheated. Seriously?
Which, by the way, 10 years ago,
They
that was
can't
what we
do
heard
that.
the sequel was going to be. 10 years ago, when it was still going to be Russell Crowe, it was going to be him in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Right, I heard about
And
that.
now
Unless
this is
it
what
was
we
like
got.
right
through the
before he
afterlife.
married her. Because I can't tell how old his actual child
Could it be
is.
that Ridley Scott maybe isn't what he used to be?
Yeah, probably not.
Have you seen his last few films?
Yeah, I mean, I was being facetious. Yeah, I think we know what this is. This is a tired chance to recapture something.
Right. It's nostalgia bait. And
literally, it's key jangling. Maximus, the thing is what Slav was saying. Yes, it's very much an attempt.
We got
I think the filmmakers-
Texas in the house over here. Megan the Texan. What a crew. Howdy, Ben.
No, I think they're cashing off the success of Top Gun Maverick, Blade Runner 2049. You know, I think the biggest element that's completely making me from writing it off is the casting. Paul Mescal is a badass actor. I just watched him in a movie recently, After Sun, and he just rips it from the inside out from an actor's perspective. And he's not of all the new upcoming actors, he doesn't have this Hollywood goody type vibe about him. He's like, I read about him. He like talks about going to therapy and stuff like that. He's just like a real kind of broken artist. So it'd be kind of interesting to see him juggle a lead role. You know,
I mean, so he's pissed off a lot of people with his political comments.
What has he said?
I mean,
Did he call half of the country something?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
It was around the Gina Carano thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he piped up, and then she said, "Hey, how come he's able to say this and I'm
that
not?"
was him. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
There goes a significant portion that won't see it just because of that right
Well, I
there.
mean, Pascal did the same stupid thing.
Yeah, and Mark Ruffalo just did it too, which is probably going to be used in her lawsuit. So yeah.
Wait, are we talking about Pedro Pascal or Mescal?
No, talking about the main
there was a
person.
confusion there.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
Yeah,
talking about
Pedro.
Pedro also
Yeah, we
said
already
it.
know
Paul
Pedro
Mescalin.
But we're
Pedro
talking about
Pascal's a cuck. We know
the
that.
main character now. Yeah.
I can't help but call him Paul Mescalin.
Point is,
like,
don't call half the country anything other than nice people. Viewing audience.
Yeah, just it's so foolish. I don't understand why they continue to do this.
They can't
Hubris?
help themselves.
Yeah,
They want to score some sort of
brownie points.
I don't know, virtue signaling
It's still
type
like
points?
ESG didn't go away. It's still brownie points for BlackRock and
Derangement. If you really thought the sky was falling, you would be screaming that the sky is falling, even
Right.
if the sky is not falling.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean,
who knows?
I mean, and they keep doing the same thing in our favorite show. What is it called? Because I forgot. I was watching episode 7, and I think I lost more brain cells than I did when I was taking shots of Everclear in college.
It's Disney Star Wars, the Leslie Headland, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, run Acolyte. Wackolite.
Before we move into that,
Akashite.
can we finish
Yes.
off one thing about Gladiator 2?
Oh, yeah.
And it may just be me. Tell me if anyone wants to chime in about this thought. The fact that they recast Spencer Tree Clark, who
It's
played
fucked
the
up.
original Lucius.
fucked up.
Okay. The reason I make a big deal out of this, and I made a video on it, it's on my channel, you can check it out. I posted it a year ago.
He was in Glass.
Right. He's still a working actor.
Yeah, that is that guy.
So
Yeah.
the reason that I bring it up is coming from an empathetic place. If I was in his shoes and I was a child actor and I was in considered one of the greatest films of all time, and I didn't get a chance to come back to that role and I'm still a working actor, I would be fucking upset.
Yeah, but
Okay.
maybe they don't think he looks like what they want the main character to look
Yeah.
like, and they want
about to
to
say
wait
that,
while
yeah.
he puts
I
on
get that.
40 pounds of muscle or whatever
I get
the fuck
that.
it is.
I get that. But that's the thing is, I at least have some kind of press release to say,
Oh,
you know,
you're funny. This is Hollywood, dude. People find out they're not in the next movie by fucking Twitter.
I know. I agree. It doesn't mean I have to accept it as right or
yeah, no, it's wrong,
right.
but that's just
right. So
yeah.
that's why I want to create the conversation about this.
Well, there's that part in the trailer where it shows it looks like Maximus just dies and Connie Nielsen's down there, and like they de-age her, they make her look young, and they've got like it's like a different kid, a little Lucian there. It's a different kid.
Yeah.
Right. So they're going to give him a double slap in the face by
Yeah.
replacing him entirely for the new generation of people that are going to see this, and they're not even going to see Spencer Treat Clark in the role. And I get why they're doing it is because they're doing flashbacks of other scenes that he was in growing up, and I think Connie Nielsen's character abandoned him or something because he's asked questions of, where were you born? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think someone else is going to take over.
I don't know.
And he's going to have to go into hiding. He can't say who he is because,
Okay, maybe there's that conceit.
Which is why the person, I'm assuming, because they're just doing this beat for fucking beat, Pedro Pascal's general was supposed to protect him and said he fucked him over. And so now he's come from being a slave to fighting the things to fight. And that's what his Commodus is.
Recasting in sequels has been around forever. Like
Disney does it all the time.
Terminator 2, Terminator 3, they didn't get Edward Furlong. They got
they initially did, but he fucked it up. He fucked up his
Edward Furlong was on all the drugs.
He
got a little
that
drug
up
issue.
So Spencer Treat Clark ain't shooting up.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was just in Glass, right? And he was good in it.
Right,
I mean,
and he's in a whole bunch of other, like he is doing some TV day player spots, and he was in a Lincoln miniseries about the assassination of Lincoln. He played one of the assassins.
This is another
Cold-hearted, actually.
This is another Billy D. Williams / Tommy Lee Jones situation.
Oh yeah.
That was racism.
And exactly. We can't have a black Two-Face.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just like, I come from a place of empathy to think that if I were in his shoes, I would be frustrated. If at least I want to hear that he at least got a fucking call from Ridley Scott saying, you look younger than I'd like you to, than I need the character to be. It's as simple. I get that. That shit happens all the time. And Ben, you can speak to this. If someone doesn't meet the physical characteristics, the voice, etc., it's nothing personal. They have to do what they want for what the character needs, and they need to look older, more. Maybe he can't grow his beard thicker, right? As beautiful as a beard as you've been.
It's just a missed opportunity. Like he's a working actor still. They could have had him come back. It just creates the continuity there. It's just a missed opportunity.
Exactly. I wanted that continuity, and I mentioned it in my video. I did a little pitch of what if a part of what they did for this character was he started off in the same way that Tom Hanks had a physical transformation in Castaway. In this role, it would be Spencer Treat Clark is...
This is so much more work than them just wanting a cheap sequel and recasting him.
Well, so they would start off with Spencer Treat Clark in a skinny state, and he has to rise to the occasion and fucking bulk up, and they would take the time, and it actually would have worked out because they actually had to shut down the production because of the strikes. So you could have actually,
but they couldn't have. They couldn't.
I know, but if that was the original plan, it actually could have benefited them. So what would happen if he fucking bulked up for real, and you didn't see any CGI of him being more slender and thinner in the same way they did with Captain America, but it's in that same kind of
you're talking doing
plan,
the Spider-Man thing, the Tobey Maguire film, the first.
No, but they actually did it. They did a body replacement. They did it. They did a body replacement. They did that shot of him in his room. Yeah, all that stuff. So Castaway is the like the prototype or the scenario in which that it actually worked. They took months off to a year for him to lose the weight, and then you could do like an inverse of that where someone just fucking bulks up for real.
Right.
And I'm going through it from a place of wanting to see something practical and to have a story behind the making of the movie that's fucking kick ass.
Right, love, but what we want is fucking sharks in the Colosseum, right? And people that remember the name Gladiator, right? Not your twinky little sequel. I need a big man, a mescal man. Bro, he's big and jacked, and I don't give a shit. So even the dude coming back, I would have been like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is a cheap cash grab with Maximus written everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And like the first one had deeper meaning. It was like the Roman Empire on the verge of like going shit show, when after the death of Marcus Aurelius, and it had actual meaning that could be applied into. At that point, it would have been 2000, so like the 2000 election was a complete shit show. So there was a lot of nuance, and modern writers just can't write nuance. Just straight up, they can't. And I mean, I'll go see it, but I'm not holding my breath, especially if they have fucking rap music instead of Hans Zimmer's score.
Maybe that was just for the trailer.
That was more than likely just for the trailer.
Hans Zimmer just came out saying the movie.
Hans Zimmer's not scoring it, which sucks.
We'll have.
You'll know for sure there's going to be rap throughout it, or is that just speculation?
Maybe it's just on the soundtrack, and they'll just be on the soundtrack and not
Probably
peppered
just going to be like it'll probably be the credit song.
Because they're going for like a Knight's Tale type vibe. Is that what they're going to go for? I don't think they're going to put rap in the damn movie. I mean,
yeah, they better.
I'd be surprised if
this
they
is
did.
usually
It just seems like
shitty trailer marketing
Yeah.
decision. Yeah,
I think Denzel Washington's charisma. It's like a Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves vibe. It's just like a throwback, goofy Hollywood film. I think Gladiator 2 is just going to be silly fun.
They're doing Harry Gregson Williams is doing.
Yeah, he's scoring it. He's probably going to use Hans Zimmer's themes, but
He's a protege of Hans Zimmer.
he is.
Yeah. I mean,
Hans Zimmer will never do
close
another Ridley Scott film ever again. They're kind of fighting. They've been.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Did not know this. Okay.
It was during the time of Kingdom of Heaven. Yeah, Hans Zimmer was supposed to score that, and then something happened, and Hans Zimmer ended up scoring Madagascar instead, and Harry Gregson Williams was originally on Madagascar, but they kind of switched, and then Harry Gregson Williams did Kingdom of Heaven, which is one of his best scores.
Yeah, that was a good score.
Little plug for some YouTuber out there. Someone took the trailer and they took out the official music and the rap music, hip hop, etc., and they replaced it with an epic version of the original score from Hans Zimmer into that trailer. And it's kind of
that's cool.
It's actually a shorter version of it. It's only like 2 minutes. So if you look up something along the lines of Gladiator 2 better version score, it's there. It's out there. Somebody did it.
Shitty trailer. Yeah. Cool.
This was definitely like a theatrical, like sit before you're sitting in a theater kind of trailer. This wasn't the type that should have been released online. Yeah,
it's kind of a throwback trailer because you look at trailers like from the 80s, they showed half the film in those trailers.
They still do. There's just less into the films now.
Just like old school, I think Ridley Scott, he's given us gems over the year, but I think just with the presentation of this trailer, he's a little behind on the times. It's not really relevant in its style, and I think that's the problem right there.
Yeah. Well, he's been stuck in the late 70s, 80s with his films for a long time. That's his biggest problem, is he never came out of that era. Yeah. It's also sometimes it's a good thing, but more often than not, it's a negative for him.
Enigma Severus said Denzel usually will not do a film unless the story is legitimate for him. Although the jury is still out on the Macbeth movie. Haven't seen that yet. I actually haven't seen that either.
I want to see that Macbeth. Macbeth is the shit. And one of the Coen brothers separated for that. It was one of the Coen brothers that made the Macbeth film, which is very interesting. From what I hear, my brother and my dad saw it, and they didn't understand anything they were saying. So it looks like they really stuck to like the core material, which I gotta respect. It's very much a lost culture. Put Shakespeare on film like that, and these days, I think it's kind of funny actually.
Yeah,
the Coen brother would do that.
Yeah, and Megan the Texan said, I would love to see a sequel with chariots wheels having spinning hubcaps and as a low ride.
Yeah.
Got to bounce.
Spinner rims, that'd be great.
It starts bouncing.
Yeah. Hey, Scottish Geek Guy, how you doing out there? Yeah, so it's coming out in what, November? Gladiator 2?
End of November.
Trying to get that Oscar bait.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, this year, is there anything Oscar bait? I would say Dune.
Dune wasn't Oscar bait. It just will end up being in the conversation,
but
it wasn't designed
competently made film.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that they didn't just put this off till next year, because next year is the 25th anniversary of the first one. They could have tied that in.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little shocked by that.
maybe they're hoping that it gets nominated for Best Picture, and that would be the 25th anniversary
Probably
for
means
the
they have a bit
Gladiator
of faith in it.
franchise, right?
Oh yeah.
In the year of the Oscars.
That's a possibility. Usually, they try to tie that into the marketing to make the movie more successful financially, though.
There's Nosferatu. That's another Oscar.
Oh my God, Nosferatu!
I think you're on
That's
point
my
with that,
biggest
Slav.
anticipated film of the year, Nosferatu. I think that looks sizzling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what is it? Robert Eggers?
Oh yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, that guy's movies are pretty solid. Lighthouse.
He don't give a shit. He don't give a shit. He
No.
writes what he wants to write, and he makes what he wants to make.
Yeah.
Ben is a huge fan of Eggers. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I was watching him give
every time we talk about movies, he's gonna bring that guy up somehow.
Heck yeah. Well, I was watching him give a lecture, and he talked about. He goes, I usually the way I write my screenplays, I write it in a way that only I could direct it. And then it's like he's a student.
Wow.
He's a student of like occultic history, mystic history. It's something that he nerds out about, and folklore. And he just is not afraid just to like incorporate that into his stories. And like
I don't know. He kind of burned me with the Northman. That
the
was
Northman was the shit.
That's an overrated
That was a remake of.
All right, I want to see you guys go head to head about this. Northman head to head.
That was a Conan remake, but boring.
It's supposed to be.
They didn't
Hamlet.
advertise
It was
It's supposed to be Hamlet.
They didn't advertise
Which
it
is
correctly.
right.
They needed people to get into the seats. They didn't advertise it correctly. It's a big budget art house film.
Yeah,
It was definitely. Yeah, it wasn't marketed properly.
No, and that scene that they show on in the trailer, that's like the only good scene in that movie. That scene was dope, but fuck.
He's hit or
Rating. You
miss
wanted
for
more
me.
rating when they
The
turn into
rating,
the
rating
wolves.
scene was
I
amazing.
just want
There's
more.
some good stuff in that movie, but it does
I didn't
drag
hate
a little.
it, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm giving it shit.
Volcano fight.
It's got its good points, but
I mean, for me, it was a really awesome retelling of Hamlet. Very true to life. I
think
really
it's
liked the
based on the story that Hamlet is based on.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
I will say that fight at the end in the volcano with the
That was cool.
magma. That's how back in the day as a kid reading the one star log where George explained what he thought the Anakin Obi-Wan fight was. That's what I pictured before we got Mustafar and all that.
But big fight in the volcano, but it's like
something like
barbaric.
that. Where but it's a decent movie, but marketed wrong.
Yeah, I think I got spoiled by the trailer because when I saw the film, I think I liked it, but the problem for me was the expectation it was going to be a lot bigger than it ended up being.
Right. Yeah.
And it was a smaller contained film in the way that you just said. It's like an art house version of Gladiator, maybe, to kind of connect those conversations a bit.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was one of those movies that like were maybe kind of emerging from the dark age of cinema. I mean, the one that opened the floodgates was Top Gun Maverick. And then after that, we started getting the trickling of like actually good movies that nobody's seeing because they got burned too many times paying $50 for garbage in the movie theater.
Yeah, and then there's nothing out. I mean, I paid to watch Lord of the Rings Extended Edition that came back out all the way through again.
They're re-releasing all old movies now in the theater, like all year long. Like I'm gonna probably go see Fifth Element when that comes out, which is
That's the thing. No one else besides people in this kind of arena of live streams are talking about the saturation of the market in theaters of these classic older films, etc., being released in theaters now is obviously a symptom of the writer's strikes and the dying theaters, unfortunately. But it's like no one's talking about it in that way of, oh my gosh, look at all these movies that are in theaters.
It's also better quality writing compared to today's agenda, which is why on the streaming everyone is watching shit from 10 years ago.
Yeah. And it's like the theaters are getting a message. Oh, maybe we should be the.
It's like an unspoken thing that we are all very aware of right now. Yeah.
Theaters are basically like major theaters are turning into second-run theaters from like the 80s and early 90s. Yeah. That's essentially.
Dude, you could rent out a whole theater for like $50, and they'll play more or less whatever
I've done
you
it.
want.
Yeah. I've done it.
Yeah.
Totally worth it. I feel bad for the theater owners. Not their fault that their thing that they were dependent on got completely captured. and decided to stop making money because they had another source for it. Because they can tank the hit at least for a while longer. The theater owners clearly can't. So yeah, bro, play all the old movies that I haven't gotten a chance to see on the big screen because you know.
Yeah, I went to go see the 25th anniversary of The Matrix a few months ago. Which was like phenomenal. Although the Regal in Times Square, FU, the sound sucked, which like completely ruined it for me. I'm like, yo, turn that shit up. The Matrix is supposed to be overwhelming.
I recently saw a film that we could get into a topic. Unless you want to get into talking about the Acolyte, I can get into that. It's your call, Paul.
We got time. Okay. So yeah, let's jump into the Acolyte because we're gonna completely destroy that.
I think that's. I don't even know who the hell wants to start. People are waiting for that in the audience. I think they are.
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic show. I'd like to start there.
I love your review.
Episode 7 was the strongest.
I knew you would feel that way.
It is the greatest show that has ever shown.
you guys not
Let's subvert. Let's just praise it for half an hour.
It was so funny.
And the lightsaber battles were so amazing.
Production
Some
design.
of those wigs. Oh my
We gotta
God.
let Disney know where to send our checks.
I knew you would go to the dark side, man. I knew you would.
Supposedly, if you shill hard enough, you get stickers. Did you see?
Stickers.
Oh yeah. And now the Force is a string or whatever the hell they
thread.
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 It's a thread,
Oh my
Paul.
gosh.
Get it right.
Yeah. How could I? Leslie Headland's gonna have my head on a platter.
Showing Jedi Trinity in the trailers and getting people to watch it and then killing her in the first episode was really clever move. It's good curveball.
Brilliant.
I know they show her again later, but I was like, I watched the first episode and they killed her at the end of the episode, and then the way everything else started progressing, I was like, I'm done. This is why I tuned in.
Yeah,
like,
well,
you're clearly all
as
out of order.
Jedi, I'm like, that's
Yes.
cool, and it's a cool fight scene, but it's just like, all right.
No, I don't know if you know this, but if you didn't like it, that means you are racist and alt-right and afraid of women. And did I miss something? Either way, you're not allowed to.
You're every is
a woman hater.
Yeah. But what about women who didn't even like
internalized hatred?
That's obviously. I was offered the screener like for the first 3 or 4. I was like, nah, not interested. I'm so glad I did not watch it. I'm just sitting back listening to y'all.
Yeah, that's the fun thing of what they do is.
And you got to be very careful of me and everyone in this chat, in this live stream, because we're women haters, apparently.
No,
Yeah.
I feel so
We don't like the
threatened.
Acolyte.
We're lesbian witch coven haters.
Yeah.
I have internalized, misogyny.
I
We're
literally
with you,
put
Sin.
I literally put a Vagisil commercial in my review. I think I win this conversation.
That's really funny.
We did a review. We didn't watch a single episode.
Yeah.
Enigma
Oh
Severus
yeah, it was
says,
so funny. That's why I loved your review so much.
is the Acolyte a new disease? Are we doing masks again for this one? Well, after watching the 7th episode, like I was like going back and forth with somebody on Twitter, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, man. Like I should have known, but my brain is slow. I killed too many brain cells.
Did you see her go on the chick in the show? She went on The
View.
View. Did you see
Oh
that
my
shit?
God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she's
Was that Thatcher what you were talking about?
She claims that obviously she's getting all these racist comments and all this, and it's like
Doesn't show any of them.
doesn't show anything.
Sure,
no.
yeah.
Which
Why-
chick? Amanda Listenberg.
These fucking people don't
Who has
ever have
worked
to
for
show
Disney
anything.
Since she was 4 as a
No
model and
receipts.
is a millionaire and has a white father, so let's throw all the racism out comparative to
Hey,
others.
remember, she
Rich
was
white dad.
working to end racism.
That's
It was
right.
discourse. Yeah, and our response is racist. Remember in it when she says you have 3 days to respond to this, and then we all responded. All of those are now racist. That's the other griff. Yeah,
Right. A racist says what?
mm-hmm. That word means nothing, by the way. Now it's so
No, it
ruined. It's
doesn't.
like, okay, yeah. Do you feel better now? Can we move forward?
Well,
with
there's
this?
just she hasn't gotten shit because this is the perfect opportunity for her to go on The View, and then as she's talking, they can just cycle through all these screenshots of supposedly racist statements against her. But no, there
No
is
one's
none of that
complained.
because no one's fucking saying
Yeah.
anything.
No one's complaining about her skin color.
That would require
whatsoever.
that people that were like a decent number of people were actually watching the show.
Yeah,
but they're not.
Who watches The View?
Look, this.
Oh no, I didn't mean The View. I meant Acolyte.
Oh, the
Yeah, I don't think any. I think The View actually
Same
might have
difference.
more viewers.
Who
than
watches The
Acolyte.
View? The no fun Marvel mommies that they're trying to get to watch this shitty show that no one is
exactly.
watching.
The
people that
Us,
watch
'cause
The
we
View
get
watch
paid to
The
talk about
Acolyte.
it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
unemployed housewives that watch The View.
Uh,
In liberal bubbles like
the
San
same
Francisco
people
and New
they
York?
wanted She-Hulk. The same audience they wanted to watch and like She-Hulk, basically.
Oh, cat ladies. That's what you mean.
Oh, the She-Hulk actress actually believes that parents should not have
Yes,
consent
I
on
heard this.
them deciding if they're going to be trans or not.
Yeah, despite having no kids.
I mean, talk about a fucking neo.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
We don't have kids. We'll just take yours. I want to be a boy
it's,
now.
It's par for the course for Disney because clearly Leslie Headland, and I'm just going to straight up say it, she has the goods on Harvey Weinstein's connection to Disney in the
She
Sound
clearly
of
has the
Freedom
goods on
way.
a lot of different people.
Oh yeah, that chick has something up her sleeve.
She's apparently based. Yeah, but I say she's
She
apparently
used to be.
based. But that's what I'm saying. So I was like, how does that square away? And it's like, oh, right. She lost all her clout and all her pull when Harvey went away. So what does she do now? She can't be strung out for all the things she was clearly involved in. Oh, I was a victim. I didn't see anything. And now she can
Sure you
drift
didn't.
off of that for a while. Yeah, I know, right.
I don't remember
Kyle.
where I heard. I read somewhere that the version that we're getting of the Acolyte isn't the original thing that she wrote, and
Right.
it was that she brought it and they were like, "This is a good script, but we want you to take it back and make it different."
Kathleen said this is a good Star Wars script, but make
Yeah.
it a Leslie Headland
That was it. Yeah,
script.
that was the exact wording.
Yeah.
You mean a
And-
Chat GPT script?
No,
Yeah.
I mean fill it with fucking scissoring lesbian
Scissoring.
sisters.
Rich,
And,
you
No,
Yeah,
apparently
yeah,
she
yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, she did actually write something that was better than this. I mean, we'll never know.
We'll
If
never
Kathleen
know.
Kennedy's the one who's saying better, who knows?
more
Yeah.
aligned with what we would consider them even trying to pretend to
Yeah.
respect George.
Yeah.
Kyle, you know she used to work with Dallas, right?
I do, yeah, and I've seen the posts of him talking about. So Dallas Saunier is he's a producer that's done some fucking badass films like Bone Tomahawk, and
Good movie.
Good,
yeah,
movie.
Dragged Across Concrete, which I think
Yeah.
in my list of films is actually in the top 10 of last decade. Yeah, to me it's one of the best films of the last decade, and he's talked about how back in the day he was working with her and how she would be making fun of people talking the way that she is today. So I don't know if she's playing a role so that she can get some
Probably.
moolah and get in the position that she is right now. It's possible,
Most
fake it till you
likely.
make it bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's possible
I
that
think a
that
lot
could
of
be
people
happening.
in Hollywood are doing
Those
that.
stalwart checks will change the person. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll make you say things you never thought you'd say. All those zeros. I mean,
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
seems to
and
be
that-
exactly what we thought it was. It's let's make the Jedi evil, not just at the end right there with Sidious doing shit. It's like, no. Let's make them corrupt way fucking earlier. Let's make
Yeah.
everything their fault.
Yeah.
Let's throw that there's no dark side and it's just about power. That's, again, communist shit. And against what George said. And then, let's now throw in the prophecy into doubt, which is now directly confirmed based on the Nerdist interview that she just did. They're the proto versions of it. And while they're not technically stronger than Anakin, they could be if they work together. But I almost went into my Darth Felonious voice. The point is, this is insidious. It's done specifically to undermine George and all the cis white, that's a slur, by the way, but all the straight white males that were the stars before. That's why they invalidated Luke. Now Anakin is next.
And now they're making the Jedi evil because, police brutality and BLM.
Defund the
That's
Jedi.
all it is.
But the funny part
Exactly.
is that no matter what you say, but they haven't been able to actually make them evil in this. Even this most recent episode, they try to be like, "Oh, look at the bad things they done," and the only thing that happened negative was a guy killed someone in self-defense.
And she looked like a fucking demon bat.
What he did was like noble. Like he saved a girl. Like he saved a
Yeah.
little girl from being eaten by a demon. Like come on.
Yeah, they're failing. They're failing at doing the one thing they're trying to do, which is they've made them look incompetent. I'll give them that. They've made them look incompetent, but they've failed at every level of making them look evil.
Well, Saul's a horrible Jedi, so they've made him look as in like they don't act like Jedi. They don't control their emotions. They have attachments. they do, and then they're super corrupt because they overlook those failings, and like Soul acts like a Padawan.
But just these 4 Jedi here are like that. You know, in the prequels, George made the Jedi right, with the exception of Obi-Wan slightly was off.
There's always been in the history of Star Wars. There's always been varying levels of emotionality of people who follow the rules. That's not a new concept. They're just doing it very badly.
But this here is just, they're all over the place. They're all over the place. I mean, the Padawan in this episode was like, I just want to go home. I want to be here.
The best part about him wanting to go home, Jedi Master White Guy, or Jedi Padawan White Guy. But the best part about him wanting to go home is then they go, hey, okay, you guys can come home. And he's like, no, I got to go get the girls.
Yeah,
and they know to prove I could go home. Like, you just said, they just said you could go home. Like,
so the whole point is they're supposed to be there looking for a virgins, which what the hell is that? The reason they chose that word is because Qui-Gon says in the prequels, it just means it's a convergence of force energy somewhere on the planet that if you're force sensitive, you can tap into it, see it all the time in the expanded universe. So I'm fine with all that shit. But why do they have the metal detectors and checking soil samples? Why wouldn't they be meditating and trying to suss out the direction? Because their ship, their Jedi Vector,
as dumb as it is, the metal detector is hilarious.
Life, it would detect the people, it would detect the technology in the temple or the old mining facility they're in.
Badger, it's 100 years ago. So maybe they
metal
detector.
Which I guess no one told them. I guess no one told them that in a galaxy with 30,000 years worth of history, 100 years is nothing in technology.
What I wouldn't have given for one of them in the background, like Kalnaka, to be like using the metal detector and like pick up like a coin and like it would have been great.
Yeah. And her references to a High Republic, the one High Republic book I read of where there's a hyperspace disaster and like supposedly there's no life after that, after a ship parts crashed into it. And I'm assuming had like a meteorite effect or, meteor effect, but still.
Yeah, probably
you would feel it.
Ice Age kind of thing.
Yeah, Ice Age, but you would feel it in the Force, right? Even if there was a sudden, because that's what Leslie ends up saying is that whatever's in that hole that they're all worshiping, giggity make jokes here, that's what the Force essence convergence is. It's in that pit, and it's what they use to boost up their magic. Confirmed it's magic.
And the fact that it's at the top of a mountain with lights and shit that can be seen for hundreds of miles.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been there for what, 7 weeks?
7 weeks.
To find something.
You would have been able to see that shit right when you landed.
Yeah. Exactly. and here's probably the thing that just aggravates me the most about. Oh no, this doesn't aggravate me the most. This whole show's just aggravating. But what's annoying about everything is the fact that all of this happened, and they're just like the High Council is just Yoda. Yoda's part of the High Council. The oldest Jedi, the most wise Jedi.
He's gone somewhere. He's on sabbatical.
Doesn't know about any of this.
They're all they don't exist. They're not real.
Yoda would be alive during the Acolyte.
Yeah. Wait,
because he's 800 years old.
No, I'm saying that the Jedi Council doesn't exist. It's a fake thing that they keep referencing.
The High Council that they keep, that they're not actually reporting.
Hasn't been founded yet. It doesn't get founded until after this show.
In the one High Republic book that I read, Yoda is said to be on sabbatical. Now, what the fuck that means? He's on vacation somewhere meditating. He's not here. I'm assuming they're going to keep that line. Otherwise, why doesn't he show up, right?
But this, like, if there was this vergence of, this force, like, he would, of all beings, would feel that.
There's a bunch of Jedi still alive. Yaddle is still alive. Oppo Rensis is still alive. Yasmin Proof is still alive. Like
Yaddle's only a little younger than Yoda, so
but that's the thing. It's like, why are these few Jedi who are just idiots? It's just the writing is so bad. I just can't get over the writing.
So about the writing, actually, I wanted to mention the story structure is completely fucked 6 ways from Sunday. Mm-hmm. You have constant back and forth. 16 years ago, this happened. 16 years ago, this happened. No, why don't you just start 16 years ago, merge the two, episodes that take place back there, and then move on in a linear fashion? Because the going back and forth, I'm sorry, you're not Pulp Fiction. You're not.
So I don't actually mind them having a flashback episode, but you can only do that once. You can't do it twice. You can't do it twice and just slightly change the camera angle and say it's a new episode.
Well, that's exactly what
that one episode should be. Those 2 episodes should be one.
The point is, all the extra shit we learned didn't really change the way anything played out. It was like, well, all right, I see how Saul maybe thought some nefarious things were going on, but everything else still played out the way it played out. And even Master Indara, her lie is a lie of omission.
Yeah, right. And they were like, Star Wars was like, all secrets will be revealed this episode. What was revealed this episode? There was nothing
it might have.
revealed.
There might have been some secrets revealed. We just don't know what they are yet. We don't.
Apparently, they were all in the goddamn interview with the Nerdist, because I didn't catch half of the things. What's up, Melvin? I didn't catch half of the things that she was attempting to convey.
If it's not explained in the show, that proves right there that the writing is terrible. If you have to go in an interview after the episode is shown, and then you have to explain, well, this, and this.
Well, this is Disney Star Wars. This is the sequel trilogy where they needed books and shit to explain their incoherent writing and their own.
Well, as we see in the comment section, I believe hiring requirements are that the director must be proficient in fucking things up 6 ways from Sunday.
Yeah.
If you have 5 or fewer, you cannot direct Star Wars. Yeah, totally on point.
You have to be a woman. You have to be a woman. And let me tell you something. This Rey movie is going to blow your socks off. And no, it's not going to stop.
And the fact that it's I mentioned it on your stream in the comment section, Badger. The fact that Dune Prophecy is supposed to come out on the same day as the Rey movie.
I will be watching Dune Prophecy.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Yes.
Oh, that's not going to happen. Dune's going to stay. Rey's going to move.
Yeah, they're going to move that off the. They're never going
to. Honestly, it might
not even get
Rey
made.
is going to happen. Rey's not.
No, the Rey movie will get made.
I'm with Dark Hour. I do definitely think it will get made. There's no way they can back out of that.
If they do not make that Rey movie, that is the ultimate white flag. There's no. I mean, you can. So what? They were supposed to do 3 movies. One was supposed to be a High Republic movie. One was supposed to be the Mandalorian movie, and the last one is supposed to be the Rey movie.
Mandalorian and the Green Fucker.
Yeah, the Rey movie. If they don't make that, Kathleen Kennedy has now raised the white flag completely.
Bro, you might as well say it's not canon anymore. Yeah. If you don't make it, you might as well say we were wrong. Sorry.
The Mandalorian tie-up movie with all the shows, that would be Filoni waving his white flag. The only one that may get canceled is that High Republic one, and they may be able to blame it on this.
It's not High Republic. It's actually it's the first Jedi one. It's
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That one, if there's one of the
Dawn
three
of the Jedi,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
If there's one of the 3 that's going to get canned, it's going to be that one.
By the way, we still have Skeleton Crew coming out with Jude Law.
Well, I just saw
Jedi.
today that they're actually building the set for Mando and Grogu, so that's already
going to happen.
Pre-production.
I mean, they already had most of the sets for that stuff. That's just taking sets from elsewhere.
And I think they have most of the seasons done and written, so all they have to do is tie the shit together and get rid of it and be done with that.
With the Rey movie, I know that it doesn't connect to the Acolyte, but I said this.
I would wait. I'd wait to see to the next episode to see.
I said that I was saying if the Acolyte fails miserably, there's a good chance that the Rey movie does not happen, because I think both of those things are solely on Kathy's
They're
shoulders.
separate. Oh, first of all, Kathy's fucking Teflon done. No, first of all, don't ever think that she'll be held accountable for anything. These are 2 separate. These could fail all day long. First of all, they could blame us. They can blame us for review bombing, and we're all racist bigots, blah, 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 blah. It was great. I've seen them do it before. They did this shit with Kenobi. Horrible. Now, granted, that's not getting a second
They've
season.
done it with everything. Not just Kenobi. They've done it with literally everything.
Yeah, no. That Rey movie's getting made, man. If it does, like Dark House says, that's the biggest white flag capitulation you're ever going to see.
They need the money, man. They need the money. They're desperate right now.
They're not going to.
They need the money.
Well, they sort of have done what they wanted, right? They've pissed enough old fans that spent all the money. We've left, and now we get super chatted by them. God bless them. And people that you spend money on spend money on other things, and the people are left are the Reylos. And no, is that enough to sustain it? No, but that's who will go watch that. But I don't know anyone like us that's introducing sequel trilogy shit to our kids. It's just the first 6 movies and like comics and games and stuff.
I don't know anymore with Star Wars. I don't get it. I don't get it.
They need to take some time and like develop it for a couple years instead of punch shit out and be greedy. That's the problem.
You can say that about every franchise.
But it doesn't matter, because they're just going to develop it with the same ridiculous agendas and ideas that they have now. It's not that. Yes, they do need to plan stuff out, but they need to get away from these ideals of today. They need to get away from that crap. They need
back
to just
to timeless
get back
stuff.
to good stories.
Yeah.
Get back to the adventure, the excitement of the good old hero's journey. Stop pushing.
They don't know
all
what a
this
hero
ridiculous
is.
crap.
They don't know what a hero is.
Well, like they need to get back to the basics. And George Lucas, it was like from the 1930s serials. You know what I mean? It was just the fun, cliff-hanging, swashbuckling serials.
Oh.
And there's a beauty to the simplicity to the original Star Wars films. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They want to overcomplicate it. Like,
I was gonna say the motto of modern Hollywood might as well be that speech that Green Goblin gives at the end of the first Spider-Man movie, where he's talking about how people want to watch a hero falter. They took that shit seriously, and we're like, oh, let's make every movie like that. So.
Oh, I thought you were like Leslie came in and was like, "Out am I?"
Well, that one too. That one works too.
No, man,
that wasn't from the end though.
Someone pointed out George was taking from the serials and the Kurosawa films and all those things that he loved and classical truths of good and evil and the Campbell hero, all that fun shit that is now white cis hale racism that is ignored and replaced with their modern day god of cultural Marxism. All that fun shit that they reframe everything, and that's why we get the power dynamics. And there's no such thing as good and evil, and even though George says there is, and there's no such thing as the dark side and light side, even though George says there is, and it's all done in this framing of like, we're respecting his vision. No, you're not. So, and that's why it's got a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
well, there's a very fascinating psychological study of somebody being good and slowly getting twisted and perverted to a dark place.
It's supposed to be Anakin.
So fascinating in like Anakin turning into Darth Vader, and then Darth Vader getting turned back by his son. It's so beautiful, and it's like they're not wanting to. It's like, why can't they do stuff like that? Like Two-Face is my favorite Batman villain. You know what I mean? It's like, but this, you know what I mean?
Well, that would confirm heteronormativity and love and fathers and sons, and it would take George's patriarchy. You know, like it sounds hyperbolic, but that's literally their reasoning for it. It's why Luke became pathetic. It's why Han became pathetic. It's why it wasn't enough to be Princess Leia, who already had authority. She had to be General Leia because Princess is feminine, and that's it's a mind trap.
And I love that
think
interview. I'm sorry. No, I was going to say, because you brought up the Leia thing. I love the interview that George did recently where he says, you know, that you take a look at the original Star Wars, you had strong women in it. Mm-hmm. You know, like Leia saved the day. Leia wasn't just there. She wasn't a damsel in distress. She was Princess Leia.
She was called wasn't she called General Leia in Return of the Jedi one time, and then they just ran with it?
Yeah, when she's giving that but it's like she was both.
Yeah, she did both, but they dropped her princess title. I get what you're saying with that.
Yeah. They cast Carrie Fisher because she had an authoritative delivery with those lines. You see the other actresses, and there's just this very like strong, natural born leadership quality.
She got knives behind her eyes in like a good way. Like she's very sharp.
Oh yeah,
she came up through Hollywood, so she was actually, you know, back when that meant that you had training and were actually a good actor.
So why'd they cast Daisy Ridley?
Honestly, I think the reason
they found her in a bar.
Her original tape was impressive.
The reason why they cast Daisy Ridley is very similar to the same reason they cast Mark Hamill the first time. They wanted someone who wasn't known for stuff. I can understand.
She had a good audition.
I liked
Ray. Hit her the hands on her face, and she's just like.
Yeah, I liked Ray.
She doesn't have a terrible look. She doesn't. They just gave her dog shit material to work with. That's all.
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's the writing.
I didn't say she had a great look. She doesn't have a terrible look. She's pretty generic, you know.
Yeah, no.
Her face is annoying as Ray.
Well, that's
because you're attached.
She's got teeth like chiclets.
I'm with her.
Yeah, but like, I was starting to wonder: is it Daisy Ridley that's rubbing me wrong, or just Ray? Because she also said some stuff that was like, okay, be quiet, but. I was like, I didn't want to watch her anymore after the second movie, and Luke tossed his lightsaber. I was like, I'm done. I can't watch her. I can't watch her face. I want to punch it. So I'm not going to watch it. And so it was like, well, every time I saw her in the role, I just had this instinctive, like, hackles up type of feeling about her. And I was like, is it her or is it Ray? So then I saw her in The Marsh King's Daughter, and she was fine. So it's definitely not her. It's that stupid
No,
character.
Disney Star Wars makes all of these good actors horrible. From Rosario Dawson to Moses Ingram as Reva, who's great in Queen's Gambit.
A great pick for Ahsoka.
Yeah,
I always
it makes everyone retarded
because
because they're not acting. There's no truth in what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's no art or life to bring to screen because it's written from fucking ideology, and that's an entirely separate thing.
The only one who was immune to it, and it was only for the first season, they did the reverse. It was Pedro Pascal actually was made into a more digestible,
more likable character,
more likable person.
I did sort of like him for a while. Before
for the first season, and that was and like maybe the first 2 episodes of season 2, but that was about it. But what you were saying before, Badger, I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I think it's a little bit. It's not just that they're taking the things they want to change it for. I think that really at its core, what it is they're attacking things that are liked by people that they just don't like. It's not necessarily that they want to change it.
It's a bunch of different things, and that's one of them. For sure.
I really think that's what it is. It's like,
these
we don't like this group of people, which is weird because Star Wars always to me was a very.
I was
grown. How old are you, Badger?
How they got in? I'm 30. I'm sure 39 this month.
Okay, so you and me are relatively the same age. So you probably remember when you were in school.
I got made fun of for like Star Wars.
Yeah, you got made fun of. It was like you knew like 2 other kids who liked it anymore because it wasn't really. It was out of like after '83 there was nothing for.
That's what I told Star Wars Theory about. Is we agree that the people that used to make fun of us more or less that mindset, they're now the people in control of it, which is an extra bit of contempt. Ben, I'm sorry. I saw you wanted to say something. What were you going to say, man?
Sorry.
Ben, were you going to say something earlier?
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. Sorry, guys, if sometimes I actually cut in my ADD. I never mean to disrespect you.
Go ahead, brother.
Anybody. I apologize.
It's these big panels are just like that.
Oh, yeah. No, so I heard something. I completely agree. Rey's character arc compared to Luke's character arc, Luke had to get gritty and nasty in order to achieve where he gets to. Whereas Rey is kind of just not. She just kind of handed the giftings and abilities
struggle.
In the achievement.
No struggle, no character
arc.
It's
not relatable.
Because they didn't write it that way. They didn't even know who she was in the 3rd movie, like 3 drafts in or something. Yeah, that's their fault for not planning, obviously.
The original episode 9 script was going to be a banger. They were going to make it where our guy, what's Adam Driver's character? Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren was just going to stay evil and die evil by the end of it, and it was going to be...
Oh, the Colin Trevorrow.
The director dropped out, and so they send in J.J. Abrams, and it's like he just kind of picked up all the pieces and put it together.
Well, that was the main issue with, like, at its core, the main number one issue with Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy is you started with one director, then the next director / writer completely undid everything that he did. It was he just went, no, I don't want any of this, and like that's I think that's where the throwing of the saber is really from. It's a literal him going, I don't care about your story.
That's a huge fuck you from Ryan to JJ.
Yeah. And then when they brought back JJ, he spent the first 3/4 of the movie undoing all the shit from the previous one. So you have
shit show.
So you really only have 1 1/4 movies.
Yeah.
It's incorporate some of it. They incorporate some Last Jedi stuff, but by the way, him putting back the helmet, I thought that was so stupid.
JJ only likes 1.5 Star Wars movies. He doesn't like any of the prequels. He doesn't like A New Hope. He likes Empire Strikes Back and half of Return to the Jedi.
The second half of the first half.
You know what second half.
I don't know. It's J.J. Abrams. I don't know which
yeah, you're right. No,
he
he loves the Ewok part. No, he loves the which is fine. I do too. But god damn, why would you give that man anything?
Yeah. From what I hear, he wasn't the biggest Star Trek fan either. It's
kind
of interesting.
He said he was always more of a Star Wars fan.
I don't think he's a fan of media. I think he's a fan of like putting things in mystery boxes and going, you figure it out.
Yeah, he is. Damon Lindelof style shit.
The problem right now with Star Wars is the mystery box. Why does everything Star Wars have to have a mystery box? I literally just did a video on my channel about this. I talked about it. That's not what Star Wars is. Star Wars was never about mystery and mystery boxes. So, don't go to the Vader thing.
I was going to say they've been trying to recreate that for 40 years. That exact moment.
And
you can't.
Lucas did not. Lucas with the prequels did not try to recreate the mystery. The prequels were the prequels. He was just telling the story.
It was more the car crash and when it was going to crash. You were just waiting for that.
You couldn't really do that with the prequels because it's a prequel. You already know where it's going.
The
closest thing I could say is that they did separate in the original credits of the Phantom Menace. They separated Palpatine and Sidious into 2 separate sections. And Palpatine, Sidious is way at the bottom.
A buddy of mine who never watched Star Wars before, he watched them in release order. I made him watch them when he was like 20 years old in release order, and he didn't catch that Emperor Palpatine was Sidious. Like, he didn't catch that until Revenge of the Sith, which I was like, are you serious?
Cool.
Regardless, yeah. But
some people don't look deeper, maybe. Yeah.
But anyways, regardless, there's a mystery box problem where and we saw it with the Acolyte on full display. They were pushing this whole mystery with this show that there was no mystery. Like, we knew who the stranger was. We knew every single mystery that they tried to push with this show. We knew what it was. With J.J. Abrams, they tried to push this, who is Rey? And it wasn't interesting. It wasn't intriguing at all. If they would have just told us who Rey was from the very beginning, it probably would have made the sequel trilogy 100 times better.
If you had just made her a Skywalker and that she was in hiding,
Exactly.
Yeah, it would have been cliche, but dear God, it would have been something.
You know what I was hoping for? I was hoping the big twist with Rey after I originally saw The Force Awakens, I was hoping that she would be the granddaughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because Obi-Wan Kenobi was a rock star Jedi, just like his master was a rock star Jedi. You know what I mean? And I thought that would have been a very...
Meaning he fucks Satine in the Clone Wars arc of the cartoon. And it's possible he's got some offspring.
No.
He didn't. Oh, yeah, you're joking. I was like, no.
No, it's not a joke. It's highly implied they had a relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And in the comics...
I think he said that, but they didn't show it, is what I'm saying.
No, they didn't show it. No. You have to go to like Rule 34 for that.
They could have shown it in the flashback of Season 7 then, you know?
Yeah, you could have done it. You could have... Look, there's a lot of things they could have done. They didn't do any of them.
Bringing Sidious back for the last one was so lazy. I love Sidious. I love Dark Sidious. I love that. I think he's such a cool character. But
somehow he
bringing
returned.
him back was so freaking lazy. It's like the Return of the Jedi bringing back the Death Star.
They weren't going to do.
I love the.
They wanted to go that route.
Yeah, they didn't want to go. But let me defend, by the way, this Death Star being back in Return of the Jedi is not laziness. That's George not thinking he was going to get any more movies, and so he quite candidly said he took the Death Star from the third one and put it at the end of the first one, and then when he got greenlit to make the rest of the movies, he's like, oh shit, now I gotta have another, and so you have that whole thing again. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, no, that book, Splinters of the Mind's Eye, was gonna be a sequel.
I love the Return of the Jedi. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to
defend yourself. It's all right. You Ewok hater.
I love the Ewoks. I think it's
Richard Marquand.
It's such a product of its time. It's very 80s weird. 80s weird. And you know, the natural people, the natural species taking down the machine.
We wanted to be Wookiees, but he couldn't afford the Wookiee planet, I guess, at that point.
The old thing is that they couldn't get enough material, so they made half-sized costumes.
Could you believe that shit?
So to this day, I'm not sure if that's true. I think that's like a
sort of checks out.
Yeah. Like, if you think about it, it could make sense, but I think it's one of those excuses that they made afterwards to try and, like, save face. I just can't foresee, like, because think about, like, with aliens, they had, like, 6 costumes, and they made it seem like they had hundreds of aliens. You could do the same thing with Wookiees.
Yeah, so
nice to see him.
Princess Fiona says Star Wars has become a service by which Walt Disney Company distributes bribes and payoffs.
That's the only explanation for where the money is going.
The speed, realistically, and ineptitude is one of it, right? They're doing things much more expensive that people with experience would do cheaper. But like what? The speeder scene, the couple of lame CGIs, the saber fight, that's where 180 million went?
Dude, did you see those speeder scenes this last episode? How terrible they looked?
Yeah, that was. I mean,
it's actually worse than CW shows. To me, I don't know.
Way worse.
CW has a rather good King Shark, by the way. Right. That's why when people
surprisingly,
when people talk shit about like suits and they CW suits, I was like, well, actually, based on some of the super suits coming out, CW had a good good record, at least half of them.
CW's Flash suit is still the best one that's ever been on screen.
And the Brandon Routh Kingdom Come suit.
Kingdom Come suit's great.
Beautiful. But so I'm just saying, it's like, let's not throw some shade at CW these days. If Disney Plus is making new records.
$22.5 million per 30-minute episode. All right? That's 30-minute episodes. Of
credits, concept art.
$22.5 million. That's what they're spending.
One of my favorite things about every episode, and this is not exclusive to Disney Star Wars, Disney Plus does this for every single thing. The credits have every language in them. They have the Norwegian credits. They have the Japanese credits.
That's a streaming thing. That's been around on Netflix.
No, too inclusive. I don't like it. It takes too long.
Yeah, but like even for like the Disney shorts, like the 3-minute clips of like Cars, you have 10 to 15 minutes of credits for that 3-minute clip. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's.
My computer knows exactly where I am at all times. My phone can tell me where everything is, and you can't like use my IP address to give me the country, the United States specific credits.
Yeah, I mean, if rumors
they want to buy
be
all
had,
the franchises, I swear.
well, that one's run its course.
I mean, I don't care about Fast anymore.
Well, now they're gonna keep releasing Fast movies for the rest of the time.
As long as they keep on making money. The moment one bombs, they're done.
Look, they'll stop for 5-6 years and then it'll come back and like, you never thought it was gonna come back. Here it is.
Reboot.
Again.
Yeah.
The family's
For
back.
family. Well, every single poster's like, all roads leads to this. One last
Fast
drive.
again.
Drive again. It's just every single one is like. Diesel's always
eventually,
like
every dead end has an off road.
Yeah.
Eventually, they have to do some sort of like retirement home slow.
They'll find a way to like properly AI Paul Walker, and it'll be Fast and the Furious Paul Walker again, or Paul Walks again, or something like that.
Paul Walker's
Paul Walks again.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
I might actually watch one of those movies then.
Paul Walker's daughter is a successful model now. Wouldn't that be interesting? She takes some acting class and they put her in.
Jeez.
Enough of nepotism. Enough. Nepotism is fucking saturated.
That's what the
every
Acolyte
fucking
is.
person in
industry.
Hollywood now is related to somebody who's famous. Yada yada.
That's
Like
how
when they tried to make Colin Hanks a thing.
How?
I like
you.
Colin Hanks though. Orange County is hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude, Orange County is so
Right, but it's not hilarious because of him. He didn't make
Dexter.
the film.
He's good in it though.
He was in the shittiest season of Dexter.
Yeah, the shittiest season of Dexter.
Actor, probably.
Well,
funny in that movie.
That
Him
was
and Jack
what,
Black
season
together?
6? When he
Season
was in
6,
Dexter?
yeah.
I wouldn't call that the shittiest. It was
Oh, it was terrible.
What are you
the
talking
beginning of the downfall. but
Well,
it
the
wasn't-
last season was pretty.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dexter.
that was
Probably
that
the
was bad.
shittiest.
Dexter.
Wasn't he also in
Dexter.
Roswell back in the 90s on WB?
Which show?
Oh,
Roswell?
No, maybe.
Oh, I remember
Was he?
that.
I'm pretty sure he was.
Does he play the sheriff's
I
son?
never watched that show.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was the sheriff's son. Yeah.
Yeah, I sent in Tabasco bottles
Oh,
back
he
in the day
was
when I
in,
got canceled.
Oh, he was
He
in Band
was
of
in
Brothers too.
Fargo as well.
He
Season
was
1.
in Fargo.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Band of Brothers.
Fargo
I
is
think so. Yeah,
amazing.
he's got a small role.
That show
It wasn't
is
the
amazing.
Pacific?
It is good.
No, Band
Season
of Brothers.
2. That's
Well, Band of
I
Brothers,
just
that
finished
was
season 2 not
produced
long
by
It's good.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Was he
Yeah.
just a little kid?
He was young,
he's
but like
18, 19. He's in it.
Oh,
Yeah, he's like a
yeah.
background soldier.
He's just
Yeah. He
reinforcing the
pops
whole
up in one
nepotism
episode, I think.
thing.
Wait, in Band of Brothers or in the Pacific?
Look, sometimes Band of Brothers, sometimes nepotism works out. We get the Josh Brolins and other things like that. And I'll throw Colin in there.
Yeah, when they fucking prove themselves.
When they prove
when
themselves.
they're mediocre,
Yeah.
average talent, like say a Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
dare you don't like his anime Superman or Huey?
He plays the same fucking acting and character in Oppenheimer and The Boys. Completely different projects, but he's playing the exact same.
Oh, I forgot he
Yep.
was in
Acting.
Oppenheimer.
Just
he doesn't
beta
have
males.
enough
Just-
screen time in
Yeah, there you
Oppenheimer.
go. Basically,
Proving his
picture
point.
beta male.
Hey, Nicolas Cage is the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
Hey,
hold on, Ben.
That's why he changed his name, so
he
no one
changed
would.
his- Thank you. He changed
Yeah.
his name. He distanced himself.
Yeah,
From the
we'll
Coppola
leave the
name
Skarsgårds
on
alone, and we'll leave the Baldwins alone because I don't want to get shot at. Yeah, I do actually like the Skarsgårds. Like Stellan, say what you want about that. The Northman. God damn, he's a good actor.
It's Bill Skarsgård. He has some fucking talent. He's a weird motherfucker who can move his eye off to the side. It's like,
Yeah,
oh
he's good
wow,
too.
he has some traits of talent there.
Probably gonna suck in The Crow, but
Yeah, well, he's still good. I know,
That's the
Hardcut
strangest
is
talent to
funny.
base your opinion on. He can move his eye independently. I like that guy.
He's playing
He's a
the
magician.
Count Olaf in
He is a
Nosferatu.
really good actor, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying to be like, have you seen his eye? What
I
would
never
do?
even noticed
Oh,
his
yeah.
eye.
It's
good
creepy in
character
it. He does
it's
it
what
as
he does
Pennywise.
in it. It's what got him
okay,
the yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
His performance as Pennyworth, that's a
Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Pennyworth is Alfred from Batman.
Oh, that's pretty funny. No, but he's gonna make an amazing.
I like that Princess Fiona says exactly what I said while saying that's not what I said. Splinter of the Mind's Eye was not a sequel. It was a low-budget fallback in case the sequel George wanted didn't get greenlit. Right. So it was a sequel in case what he wanted to do didn't get greenlit, which is what I said. And it's also a decent bit of a book, even though it's like been contradicted by other books.
That was a lot. That was a huge problem with most of the EU, because there were so many different authors that were. George, after a while, George was just signing off on like every book. He was like, "Yeah,
it got better."
You mentioned
the end.
You mentioned lightsabers and the Force. This
I get paid? Yeah, sure.
It got better at the end when they had Leland Chi and Pablo when he hadn't sold his soul yet, like making sure all the canon matched up. Like when Disney took over, they had a pretty cohesive canon, literally ranging from like 30,000 years ago to 12,000 years before the movies to 100 years after, and they just threw all that shit out of the way for
so much
a much worse, more convoluted.
Yeah.
Go look at Wikipedia and look at the Disney page for a character, and then click to Legends, and it's like 7 times longer.
Star Wars is a religion, straight up. You know what I mean? It's like I was telling my friend the other day, you don't mess with the Jews, you don't mess with Star Wars.
Passionate. Jedi used to be answered on the census as a religion.
Well, things named Disney historically did not like both of those apparently. So we're
Well, they hate religion because religion keeps the nuclear family alive
and teaches morals.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's funny. Even with the increased minutes, it's still the lowest watch. Well, no, that's not true. Andor and watch minutes is just below it, but I would argue for very different reasons.
Well, they've been using. Yeah, they've been using really weird metrics for this too. Now it's also counting if you rewind it, which is anybody who's writing a review like me means that I'm adding to the. So like if I rewind it like 2 minutes back, it adds 2 minutes back again.
Shit, wow.
So they're using.
We're
those
looking
metrics.
at what Nielsen, Illuminate, a couple other Disney's own, which would they divide it by like watch time and.
Yeah, well, it used to be that if you like rewound, like if you missed something, it didn't count. It didn't add to the total watch time, and now they are. So there's a whole set. What is it? It's like real film. I think it is. That's like the metrics they're using now, which is they're completely off the rails with this stuff that they use. It's online engagement and how many times something's mentioned. That all counts for positive. It doesn't matter if everybody's saying negative things. It all counts for positive in their metric.
That's the YouTube thing. It doesn't matter. Had engagement.
Yeah.
You commented. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's the Princess Fiona comment. The next one. That comment owns the night.
100%. Yeah. Princess Fiona is hilarious as shit.
Hey,
on
Leslie
Twitter.
Headley could run that. She could direct that one. Go on. Her wife could star in it too.
Yeah,
she's a terrible actress.
I wanted to say
Vanessa
something.
Rowe.
I wanted to say something about the casting on Acolyte. Is like,
I mean, there was no casting. She literally said she just hired everyone she wanted.
Yeah.
She didn't even.
My problem with it is, it's like, where are the really charismatic actors and actresses? Because this is the thing. Love or hate the prequels, that thing's sizzling with like star power.
They're doing live streams.
Has Mace Windu. Yeah. You know what I mean? Liam
Christensen's simmering personality. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about, man? They got Carrie-Anne Moss in there for 8 minutes.
God, they just
that's
so.
I know, but like that's what made me tune into the damn show. You know what I mean? It's
according to the way
that the main girl that plays the twins in the Acolyte,
Amandla.
I seen her in a movie, Bodies. She's not a terrible actress, okay? She's just not as charismatic. It's like, you want to put a black actress in there, that's fine, but get the girl that played Black Panther.
Half of one in.
Sister.
Yeah.
What was the girl from Black Panther? The little sister. She's charismatic as
I'm not allowed to hire her anymore.
Yeah, she had anti-vax opinions.
Yeah,
and now she's affiliated with Sound of Hope, which is affiliated with Daily Wire.
You know who would make an amazing Jedi? Jimmy Caviezel. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but that he played Jesus, and that's
really freeing children from third world countries.
Lights his lightsaber. Let ye who is without sin.
Bro, they're doing the sequel to Passion of the Christ. He's returning as Jesus. That's not a joke.
I mean,
return.
He's got to rise.
Well,
now.
that's
Yeah,
true to
they
the
gotta-
source material, though. He does
The
return.
first sequel.
So, well,
Right.
what I've been
First sequel.
understood. It was 3 days later. That was the whole thing. I took classes on it when I was a kid.
Yeah,
It was
they're
great.
gonna
Oh no, it's gonna
de-age
be a
him.
2024 adaptation. He's gonna float down like Dr. Manhattan. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Jim Caviezel. A lot. That's the thing is, we could come up with a billion different actors and stories, and we do it every time in chat. We always end up coming with a better story or a better outcome than what they have written for this show. Because yes, the 6th episode or the last episode, I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna wrap up even a little bit of it.
How many total episodes are there?
Don't
Eight.
don't worry. The mystery of Mayanosha is going to be revealed in the final
she
episode.
says.
That's what
No,
we
she
all
was
care
saving it for
about.
season 2, but you know.
She says it will be answered in the next episode.
Don't be shocked if the next episode is double length. Don't be shocked.
And I just saw on Twitter
42
that they
minute
haven't
line.
greenlit season 2
I don't have
yet.
the patience.
I
to
hope
watch
they
that.
She said, to her credit, well, a lot what George said, in the sense that, like, I'm going to put everything into this first season because you don't know. And she says, and she's right, people shouldn't think they're going to get a second season. Put everything into this one. And she said if she gets a second season, which she probably will, she has 3 or 4 mysteries. Little mystery boxes for you.
Well, there's no way in hell.
No. So my prediction for the 8th episode will be the following: nothing happens, right? And then a bunch of unanswered questions and a very poorly written cliffhanger for teasing season 2, because she's gonna get season 2. She's got the goods on Harvey. That's why.
Well, it doesn't matter if she has the goods on Harvey.
Yeah, right. What does
It
that
matters
let's
if she
get
has the
into
goods
that
on
for a
whoever
second.
Harvey was
What does that
affiliated
mean?
with.
What does
Right.
that mean? How is she leveraging knowing shit about someone who's already in prison?
Just say it's a joke.
that's
No,
what I
she
was-
has the
yeah.
logbooks of everybody who was
Of other
Everyone-
people who were
He's in a
complacent
Rolodex.
with it.
Yeah.
Well, it was the feeding pipeline of all the children into so Disney hired child actors,
And allegedly,
that's the
before you get
pipeline
yourself
that went
fucking
to
sued,
Harvey
Paul, I
Weinstein.
would say that this is probably just a case of she grifted her way into being the victim when she was a perpetrator, and so now everyone's just like, oh, look at the diverse, very with our modern politics, Leslie, who, and so that's why she's now getting the golden goose treatment.
That and her nepotism, getting
Yeah.
her wife in. Nepo
You know
gives us such cinematic virtuosos like Jaden Smith and Emma Roberts. I actually don't mind Emma Roberts.
Me
to be
neither.
fair.
I kind of forget Emma Roberts exists.
Oh,
Sure,
I
she was
Robert-
fucking
Isn't
fantastic in
Robert-
Scream 4.
Isn't he Will Smith's kid?
I think
Yes.
so.
Jaden is, and Emma Roberts.
He was
is
good
close
in
to me.
Karate Kid.
Justice Smith.
I
sucks.
liked
He had his
him.
dad. He's got his daddy's
Is he in it?
charisma.
He was in the
Justice
Magical
Smith-
Negroes movie.
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
not his.
fuck.
That's
That's not his.
That's not his son.
That's
That's not his
son.
son? Okay.
No,
Just
Justice
say
Smith was
last
a
name.
completely different
Yeah.
person.
He's not
Emma
a Nepo?
Roberts,
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Emma Roberts, I never really cared for her, and then she used to date that guy. Oh gosh, Quicksilver.
I know you're talking
Aaron
about.
Taylor
Yeah,
Johnson.
well,
Blake
she's the
Dahmer.
No, the
she's,
other one.
Oh, the other Quicksilver? Yeah, yeah.
He also played in American Horror Story.
Evan,
She's a-
Evan Peters.
played
Evan
Dahmer.
Peters.
that
Evan
guy,
Peters,
yeah.
Oh,
So they
Dahmer.
dated on and off for a few times. She's a domestic.
Because they were both on
abuser.
American Horror Story. That's where they met.
Right, but she's a domestic abuser, so I don't like her at all. She
What
used
did she
to-
do? What?
She used to beat up on him.
Yeah, she threw
Dahmer? She beat up Dahmer?
She
Yeah.
used to throw 90-pound punches.
That's
in the direction.
impressive.
She would. Yeah,
He's so
well,
fast, too.
the
about
cops-
that,
Julio Roberts didn't have a good
The
reputation.
cops were called multiple times, and she was
Wow.
the instigator. And let's not pretend like women can't do that sort of shit, because they do it all the
Just
time.
ask Johnny
Yeah.
Depp.
They exactly that.
Yeah.
I had a great uncle that was killed by his wife, and I've had many men in my family circle close to me that have been involved with
guys are
violent
hardcore
women.
over there.
So,
Damn.
I can't stand this.
So it's in your blood, is what you're saying.
I appreciate you saying
There's a
that.
tendency.
I appreciate you saying that.
Well, I mean, a lot of people try to pretend like it's not a thing, and it absolutely is. It happens more often than people care to admit. A lot of men remain silent, and I feel like having only 2 brothers and not having a sister, I feel like that's given me an added benefit to understanding things from their point of view much more. So I can't stand it when people act like women are. You should never hit a woman, even if she hits you.
Nah, punch
Oh,
'em.
no, smack her back.
Lay her
I don't
out.
care. So yeah.
Be like,
Sorry,
oh, you
well,
wanna
that gets me
fight?
riled up.
Well, the abuse continues because, as Critical Drinker put up in his latest video, that scene with Torben getting his mind taken over by the lesbian witch, number 1 or number 2.
Yeah.
You know, that he mentioned, this
Alpha
is like
lesbo.
writing what you know, Leslie.
Yeah.
Oh, which Leslie says that wasn't sexual at all. It was just her. Which I don't know.
100% there was. There was definitely implications there.
I mean,
Well, she clearly wrote something different than we all saw. For example, what do you think she was doing when she turned? We talked a little bit behind the scenes, but what do you think she was doing when she turned into the smoke, like Slav? What did you think was happening when she turned into the smoke monster and May started turning into smoke? Anyone? No.
Well, I haven't seen
I
it,
said
so
to you
don't know.
backstage, I thought they were merging.
You thought they were merging, right?
I don't have patience to watch the whole series.
Yeah, can we go around? Who has actually seen The Acolyte? And
Every minute of it, and I'm it's helped my channel immensely.
I'm dying. Yeah.
Okay, so I boycotted basically. I did a video where it was a fake out where I said I'm not gonna watch this shit. I listened to Badger and people of that ilk who I trust, and I know that what they're saying, I know I'm not gonna fucking like it. So why would I watch it? And so that's it. It's just I'm gonna talk about and watch other things. Like for example, me and my wife, we just started watching starting on July 4th around that time. Band of Brothers. I've never seen it before. Yeah, it's fucking amazing to see. It's a companion piece to Saving Private Ryan, essentially. Great reminder of what the past generations had to do so that people could make shit like Acolyte. I mean, it's they have the freedom to do that. Unfortunately,
you think
I can answer your question.
You can't outlaw it. That's the consequence of freedom. Anyway, a little bit of a tangent.
To your question as to why we're watching it is 100% pure masochism.
I'm doing it for the views.
I get that. I get that. That makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
The 2000s also was like the golden age of television. We had the Sopranos. That's when Breaking Bad, The Shield, like it was Sizzle,
Mad Men,
Wire, Dexter.
Yeah. Oh, same time. Dexter until a certain season.
Yeah, I mean,
and then the Dexter reboot. You know, that was just wonderful.
I couldn't. I didn't finish that.
Television reboots
unnecessary.
I miss
no
Mad
point
Men.
to it.
You hear they're doing it? They're. I think they're supposed to be doing like a prequel.
They are doing him going back to when he's younger.
With him. So what's the deal with this? Are they going to de-age him?
I didn't realize he was in it.
No, I don't think he's in it. I thought I saw him. I thought he was in it. Post something and he wasn't in it.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering how is this going to work?
Yeah, if he was in it.
It would.
No, they're going to cast his son.
Yeah,
like the actor's actual son. They're going to see if he has a son.
He doesn't have any children.
The networks are pissed that there's no nepotism they can lean into.
Not with him.
So how mad were you about the Godzilla TV show on HBO where they cast
wait.
Kurt Russell's son as
that's on Apple.
I haven't seen that, but I did watch the Captain America show.
Well, no, I'm talking
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
you're talking about Monarch.
Yeah, Monarch. That's what it's called. Yeah, so because Kurt Russell plays a character in the future, and then Wyatt Russell plays
his son,
the same character.
No, plays the same character.
The same character in the past.
Y'all, that show, oh my gosh.
Wyatt Russell's pretty great.
So I want to take a moment.
He's pretty good.
You're just mad about nepotism and nepo babies.
That didn't bother me.
I am because, like I said before, with Jack Quaid, it takes in the fold of people who are average talented actors.
They need to prove themselves.
They edge out everyone else who are of
true.
the same quality just because of their fucking name.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off. They're edging out other actors who could get those roles, who should be able to get those roles, but because, there's a portion of which I understand why they're getting it, because they're almost the people who are hiring them know what they're getting into in terms of, okay, so they have a good family lineage, they're probably more likely to be professional, we can rely on them, etc. But that's just a small piece in the puzzle of what it means to be a good actor and a great actor, and why somebody should be hired for a role. I mean, we've gone over little bits and pieces of why is an actor hired for, why is Paul Mescalin hired for this, Gladiator 2 and not Spencer Treat Clark? Is it one looks older than the other? Okay, so it's a physical attribute. All right, great, right?
It's Paul
Mescal. Ben, do you have anything to contribute about this? Because this has to do with acting and all that stuff. Like,
well,
what are your thoughts?
This is the way I see it. Nepotism, it exists in every single industry outside of Hollywood. Yeah. It's just the way things are going to be. Yeah. Here's my thing. Josh Brolin, he's a product of nepotism. It's like sometimes I absolutely agree with you. Sometimes it's like they bring in this wooden person. Like, I don't think Scott Eastwood is that good. I don't think he has near the power his dad does. But
I think he hasn't been given the right role. But go ahead. No, it's not black and white. Like, there can be lineage of people that, like you said, with Josh Brolin, he's proven himself to.
Yeah.
What about Jeff Bridges?
Jeff Bridges totally proved himself.
Example, Sean Penn.
Right. It's when they show themselves in a role where it's like no one else could have he brought that, right? That actor, she brought that to that role, and I can't see anyone else portraying that role. That's when they show themselves and they prove themselves, right?
Yeah.
So I want to pause here for 1 second because we have a shit ton of viewers right now, and I want to plug Kyle's channel so we can get him over 1,000. We've got almost 30 people watching. Get out onto YouTube, Kyle Corwith, hit that subscribe button. Let's get him over 1,000. I think
Kyle's amazing. You won't regret it.
It's a great feeling when you get over 1,000.
He puts out great
That's probably honestly the hardest hump to get over.
I started doing I opened up my YouTube channel in 2007. That was the first, you can look back at the date on the about section, blah, 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 blah. But I didn't start doing it consistently, really of who I am today until 2020 when the shutdowns happened. I started actually doing serious film criticism and analysis and appreciation of cinema, etc. And it's been a few years of me trying to, let's get up there, so.
Yeah, the 1,000 hump mark that's I think the hardest one. I think it took me a little over a year, and then almost no time to get to 2,000 after that.
Yeah, the way that things work, it's there's two reasons for that. Once you cross that 1,000 marker, people are more likely to subscribe because they're like, oh, okay, he's got at least 1,000. Yeah. But also, YouTube has a consistently moving way of how they push content. So the more subscribers you have, once you break into the monetization, they're going to push you harder right there because we can make money off of them now.
Well, there's another aspect in that you have to meet a certain amount of watch hours. So anyone who's do some binge watching of these videos that I have on my channel, right? You never hear that term applied to YouTube channels of binge watching. So
you need one to take off virally, and then it does. That really takes off.
Yeah, so I think it's 4,000 watch hours.
Well, it's interesting breaking into acting. I've noticed this, the way it's kind of a numbers game with YouTube, it's how it is with acting. Sometimes it's the amount of number of auditions you're putting out.
It's the same fucking thing.
The casting directors see the number of the things that they're seeing, and they're seeing you put out this many stuff and you're consistently, you know what I mean? And
it's luck, it's talent, and it's grinding the shit out of it. There's plenty of people that are talented that have no subscribers, and there are plenty of people that are untalented that have millions of them.
Yeah, don't discount the amount of luck that goes into it. There's a lot.
Timing.
It's sink or swim, and then a shitload of luck and grinding out.
Yeah,
grinding. Yeah,
consistency,
yeah. Because it does want to make YouTube wants to make money, as Dark Eye was saying. So once it realizes, he's got subs, they're consistently returning and liking and watching his videos, it pushes you more. Yeah.
Most people quit too. Most of your competition eventually quits.
It's designed. Well, the system is designed to make you want to quit.
Yeah. This isn't a famine. This is a rising tide raises all boats type of thing. So you're competing against yourself, not any other creator.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah. And that's the whole point of these live streams. We're all coming up together, so help each other out.
Yeah.
But Ben, do you have any aspirations of starting a YouTube channel?
Well, I actually have a YouTube channel. But my primary, I just kind of do it just for fun to like put some of my. I used to put all my audition tapes one before I had any real footage, and then as I started getting real footage, I slowly. Then Kyle, such a wonderful, honest friend, he felt like since I'm starting to get more footage, I need to take my audition tapes down. So I'm starting to kind of clean that up. But so I have a YouTube account, but it's mostly just something to have if anybody's looking me up or if I need to quickly send a link to somebody, you know.
It's a portfolio.
For me, it's just like a fun thing to have and a resourceful thing to have. Because I know me, when I'm looking up people, I'll look up on YouTube, you know, so.
Yeah, I usually go back and forth with Hardcut on text. It's like, oh, check out my views. And, you know, per complete luck, you know, there was that like one stepwise. It's like, oh, I just take off and then flatline. Take off, flatline.
Yeah.
What the hell's
I'll
going on?
have a short that'll pull like 900,000 views, and then a week later, a short will do 3,000 views.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's like,
So
it's just,
weird.
you know, it's a. And then we just released our last video. We did
Hitman.
We did a review of Hitman, and I mean we're at a threshold right now where, regardless of what movie we release, it'll generally break at least 1,500 views within the first 24 hours. And I think our Hitman review is sitting at like 650 views right now. We put it out 3 days ago, which is like, what the fuck just happened with that? It's like, you never know. Like sometimes a video will just take off, and sometimes you're like, oh, this video will do well, and it won't take off at all. And then a week will go by, and all of a sudden you get 100,000 impressions out of nowhere.
Algorithm, baby.
You know, algorithm.
Yeah.
It's just, you just got to keep grinding, and it'll eventually happen.
Stupid algorithm.
You know what would be interesting is if you hired someone that's like a professional, like slot machine, like cheater that knows how to like numbers, and you literally bring them on and they figure out the YouTube code.
Yeah, his
And
name
they
is
just,
Mr.
like,
Beast.
crack the
Yeah,
code.
Mr. Beast.
It changes all
There's
the
a
time.
code.
Though.
It'd be a good
It's
movie.
fucking
it
cracked.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but they
You
just
can
they just
You have
change
to
it. Then.
work
Yeah,
at
they change it,
Google.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as too many people start figuring it out, they change it. It's literally as soon as you think you know the answers, they change the question.
There'll be a type of thumbnail or a certain word, or if you capitalize the third word of this and that, and then it's so fucking ephemeral. Just make content you care about and that's somewhat relevant. And if it's evergreen, make sure it's good evergreen, and just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a post that I did for this page on Facebook, and I did a kind of a push to move past 1K, and asked for help and any suggestions. And there was some dude who responded with, "Your thumbnails. Why am I clicking them? They're not really specific. What reason do I have to click them? What etc." It makes it clear that it's a movie review, like the bike riders review that I just released.
Yeah.
It has me featured. This is me. I'm off to the side, and I'm going to be talking about the like. What is it that it would be missing? Is my question.
Well,
or was he just generating those questions as a generality?
There's a whole science behind what a good thumbnail is, and the consistency of good thumbnails, and
has to catch your eye, has to convey what the fuck you're talking about in seconds, and you just have to have someone click that. Then of all the other thumbnails, I'm clicking on that. Me, I got a big fucking animated badger, dresses whatever the topic is. It makes people go, oh, a badger dressed as a Jedi. What's he talking about? And it gets them in. I don't care if it's clickbait, that's the point.
I want you to do an actual video on badgers, though, one day.
Yeah, I will.
This is the badger.
My hatred of weasels, that they're badger adjacent, but they're not. Or the honey
You have
badger
to
is
promise if there's an animated movie that features a badger that's from Disney or some shit
for DreamWorks,
you got to review it.
They might sue me. There's other badgers out there too. Badger Boy, Blast Cat, Big Badger. We all stick together though. Yeah, for you, dude, like that, I would take that as a more positive way. That like you're good, but it just means your thumbnails need to pop a little, grab people in. I don't know, show chest, thirst trap it.
Well, I'm open to those suggestions. Like, is there something missing? Is there modifications that can be made to my thumbnails, etc.? I just don't. I don't see it. I
just did what Gary from Nerdrotic told me, was pick a popular creator that you already know that you think you could do, and then either make videos or thumbnails in that. Don't fucking steal from them, because I've had to have that conversation too. But just in the vein of that. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, I could do 3 videos a day like RKO post. Oh, I like this type of thing like that. And that's what I started doing.
Yeah, and Badger, I did the same thing with Jesse Grant's channel. He's just got like one word and like a character, and
he
like
gets
a
a
blurred background. That's
disgusting
it.
amount of fucking because he's young and good looking and he knows what he's talking about. He gets a disgusting amount of views for like, but he's talented. That's the other part. Yeah, shout out Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to get him on, but I guess he's just too busy.
I would believe, he's blowing up.
He's outpacing, like he's over 70,000 already.
He's in Australia, if you believe that place is real, right?
Yeah. What?
But you know, the one thing I still can't believe, and I got to shout out again to Kyle. Your bike riders video was way better than mine, straight up, and somehow I got fucking 20,000 views, and you got not as many.
Jesus,
you know, so
thanks, man.
You know, honestly, like it's so.
Does he feel better or worse?
Yeah,
right. Well, no. His
nice
bike riders
Paul.
video was so much better. Maybe I'll send you
20,000 views
it's
on your
really
bike
good.
Your video got fucking buried, man. Drink.
It's probably your shit thumbnail,
in that
Kyle.
video, and I didn't get that many
Kyle.
views.
Yeah, no, my God.
I, honestly, Kyle, I'll send you all my taglines or whatever, and you just use the same ones.
Jeez.
I don't
your
think
tags.
your
Totally
taglines
giving you shit,
have
Paul.
anything to do with it anymore.
I appreciate everything you're saying, dude. It's just
I mean,
you got to be able to laugh about husband beating and failing at getting views on YouTube, and that's how you deal with it.
I mean, we're all going through the same stuff.
Okay, but wait, I haven't seen your review yet, Kyle. Did you like the Bike Riders?
Yeah. I had just had you'll because I'm from Chicago. That movie.
Oh
took
yeah,
place,
that's right.
That movie took place. Those events and those characters were in and around that city, and I have driven and walked down and through those streets. That like I found out that Benny, the character played by Austin Butler, was arrested in around the town like of Park Ridge, and I fucking would go there to a restaurant called Andrew's, which I fucking loved, got shut down and killed because of the 2020 shutdowns. Fuck you, Pritzker. And so those events happened, and but the movie, it takes like the locality of it is all rural, and it doesn't show the Chicago skyline whatsoever. These are points that I make in the video.
Yeah,
that's a downside for me. And someone in the comment section made a point of maybe they couldn't afford to shoot in Illinois. Okay.
Well, they could have at least maybe put something in. I didn't even know.
Put a digital map painting of the
I'm
skyline
not
in
Chicago,
one shot
so.
at least to establish what fucking city this is, because the only indication that you get that this is taking place in Chicago is the logo on the back of those jackets.
Yeah.
Vandals, Chicago.
I would feel the same way if they did something like that in the Austin area, like a town that like I live in Liberty Hill on the outskirts of Austin. I know if they did something like that, I would feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, living in New York, I noticed like when I watched The Dark Knight Rises, I've been to Chicago for work, and it's just the juxtaposition of like one scene to the other. I'm like, well, hold on, that's the Chicago River, that's not the Hudson River, and it was like really jarring to see. You know, essentially where I guess the Chicago Fed is in Chicago, with the what do you call it? The scene where Joker and Batman have that game of chicken. You shift from that to downtown New York. That's not a grid, and you show a picture. Like you show the. When the what do you call it? The stock exchange is getting ripped off, and that's like Banca and Tessa, and then some Italian bank downtown, and then you cut right to Chicago's like under whatever Kyle, what's that called? Like
so I got that mixed up. So it's Lower Wacker Drive where that chase takes place, where with the armored car, and then when Joker and Batman are playing chicken, that's on LaSalle Street.
Right. Yeah, LaSalle, like right by the Chicago Fed, and like the Chicago Board of Trade or whatever. Yeah, I honestly like it was more jarring to see that in Dark Knight Rises than it was in Dark Knight. So that kind of ruined Dark Knight Rises for me. Other than the fact that we didn't have Heath Ledger, but
Dark Knight Rises is all over the place because it's even in Pittsburgh, which is where
it's
I'm
in fucking.
from.
It's in fucking. The Steelers. Yeah, that whole scene where you see Batman for the first time after he comes out of that stupid lower tunnel or whatever.
Right.
That's all in Los Angeles, and it just The first two are definitely like Chicago movies, and then you get to the third one, and it's just like, what the fuck? It feels so weird.
Yeah.
I just got transported back to our Dark Knight trilogy live stream, man.
Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises is sloppy. I still find it to be like a powerful film, but it's so sloppy. So sloppy.
Personally, you guys might all think I'm crazy for this, but I do think The Dark Knight Rises is actually better than The Dark Knight.
Negative.
Holy fucking shit.
Oh, that's his fighting words.
Gonna have to
I need to watch
disagree with you
That
on
is the hottest take I have ever heard. That is.
I think.
Are you trying to provoke?
No, I'm not trying to provoke
Like,
anything. I don't want to start
provocation?
anything here. I want to say this. Look, The Dark Knight's a good movie, but I think it's overrated because of Heath Ledger's Joker. I think he's a good Joker. I think he does a good job, but I do think it's overrated because of him.
I'm going to challenge you on this, man.
I definitely don't think it's over. I think he only got nominated for an Oscar because he
died.
passed away.
Yeah.
I do believe that he deserved the win because he was really good, but I don't think it's overrated.
The film, I think, is poorly edited, and again, there's issues because of what happened to Heath Ledger. Because I know that they had to go back in and re-edit it and retool and re-execute the movie in a way that they didn't want to do it because of his death. But I think it's poorly.
No, he was already done. He was already.
They had already finished filming when he died. He was
you're thinking of the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
He was
go back
and
find. There are interviews with Christopher Nolan, who I wish I had him. I don't have him here. Where he talks about where they actually went back because they had scenes that were setting up a third movie with the Joker.
Okay.
And they had to remove certain aspects of that. But I think the pacing is all over the place. It is way too fast of a movie. I think the editing is poor. I think that to me it's a good movie. It's a fine film. But when I sit there and take a look at it as a Batman movie, it's not a good Batman movie.
And the fucking third one is good as a Batman movie?
You're telling me that the editing in Dark Knight Rises
By the way,
and
all of you to do
the
this
writing...
in the last 10 minutes because you knew you would get nuked by all of us? I think you would never get off your way out of.
For standing
Bruce
up for
Wayne's
this,
in a
man,
hole for half the
this
movie.
is something I've never
Doing
heard.
nothing.
You're pulling my finger.
Do you hear this cacophony of objections that are happening?
This will put a little context into it, maybe. I grew up watching reruns of the 1966 Adam West Batman.
That does put a lot of
Great.
Well, I love The Dark Knight, but I do think it's a flawed film. You know,
I think that if you want to say it's overrated, that's fair. Like, I think that's a fair statement. But to me, all the issues that The Dark Knight has, that's what The Dark Knight Rises is. It's like all the issues exacerbated in that movie.
Yeah, way more.
Sound editing just as bad.
Yes, thank you.
Character decisions horrible.
That's Nolan. Sound editing, like, you just have to accept when it's a Nolan film.
And Bethesda games always have bugs. I mean, what are we talking about here?
The fight scenes on Batman Begins are awful.
Oh,
all of his
terrible.
fights are horrible because he has his Batman doing Kinsei instead of actual fucking mixed martial arts. He's got elbow fighting basically.
Yeah, it looks stupid.
It looks stupid. Yes.
While the story isn't perfect in The Dark Knight Rises, at least to me, it isn't perfect in Dark Knight Rises. I feel that from start to finish, I feel it is a more satisfying start to finish than The Dark Knight is, in my opinion. Again, it's all opinion. I mean, it's all subjective.
I mean, are you just saying that because Batman steps away from being Batman, and it's not as open-ended as Dark Knight?
No, I'm a sucker for a good cliffhanger. So trust me, I'm always for a good cliffhanger. But it's not really a cliffhanger at the end of The Dark Knight either. But I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it right now. I wasn't prepared to do this. I just kind of put it in.
You come back next time, man. You gotta explain yourself on this. This is
the end of The Dark Knight wasn't a cliffhanger. It seemed more like a promise that, like, oh man, he's gonna like fight. He's gonna like have to push harder. He's gonna have to do all this. But then he just turns into a pussy in the third one.
He's gonna retire.
He's fucking pussed out. He just retired.
He's
like a little bitch.
He ends up in a hole for
He
half
was
the movie.
Batman for like a year, and then like, oh, I'm done. pussy.
Okay, all right, but
his cartilage knee in his knee or whatever got blown up.
Yep.
While I say that, my favorite of the three is Batman Begins. Of the three,
I'm with you there.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Really?
That makes sense.
I mean, yeah, I guess
it was a solid reboot.
It's fucking awesome.
It was a solid reboot. Yeah.
The only thing that it doesn't have is Joker, but everything else, it's there. My thing with the Dark Knight is you kind of lose focus on Batman.
Yeah, Batman Begins is the closest they got to an actual Batman movie because then it turns into what would Batman look like in our world, and I really don't give a shit what Batman would look like in our world. I don't want Batman to have bad knees and retire for 7 years or have an outfit that gives up on him. Unless in the most extreme examples in the comics.
Well, Joker stole the show for sure.
Yes, he did.
100%. Yeah, it's a Joker movie.
And I still think he would have been nominated even if he didn't die. Now, the argument whether he would have won is there, but I still think he would have been nominated even if he didn't.
100%. Yeah, I mean, because you don't see him.
You feel his presence through the entire fucking thing. Now, granted, that's Nolan and the way he did it, but...
Well, I mean, given the Academy and the snootiness of the Academy, I just doubt that they would have. They kind of turned their nose off at comic book movies. So.
Honestly, I think we should all band together and do our own version of the Oscars.
So
and then we actually have good fucking movies.
There's a channel on YouTube that does kind of that. It's the Cinema Squad, and they have every year the Rubber Ducky Awards.
Nice.
It's a small channel, but they get all the different creators to do presentations. So I presented for Best Actor last year, and of course Cillian won. It was for Oppenheimer.
Look,
that year of 2008, the Best Supporting Actor, that was actually a very loaded year in that category because you had Robert Downey Jr. And then you had Michael Shannon for Revolutionary Road. Have you ever seen his performance in Revolutionary Road? It was like the Michael Shannon coming out party. Like he steals the show from
Ben, I have a good story about that movie. I used to have a girlfriend that we went to the movies every fucking weekend. I think the 2006 Oscars, we watched everything, double, triple features. And, we'd go back to her parents' house and, do the deed. But the night that we watched Revolutionary Road, the car ride, deathly silent.
Yep.
I just went straight the fuck home.
The depressing film.
It was a good film.
It is. But Michael Shannon is astounding in that film. He plays an incredible crazy person. In the 1940s, was it? 50s is when it.
Yeah, it was the 50s. The other movie that I really loved with another fucking phenomenal actor, Andrew Garfield, was 99 Homes. Him and Michael Shannon. So I got to see Andrew Garfield in a play of Death of the Salesman.
How was that?
Yeah, with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yeah,
dude, how was that?
Yeah, it was fucking incredible. Philip Seymour Hoffman, of course, really good. But the scene stealer, I was like, holy shit, this guy can act. Was Andrew Garfield? He played the son.
He played Biff, didn't he?
Yeah. Dude, it was incredible. Incredible.
It's so interesting. I always read reviews about that, but they just absolutely outlawed any kind of footage in the theater. And I'm pulling my hair out. I want to see that. So to hear someone that's seen it, that's cool.
So the one positive of living in this hellhole of New York City is to go see, not Broadway. I fucking hate musicals, but actual plays with Hollywood actors in them, basically working on their craft. I've seen Diane Lane and I actually super got into some Russian playwright, Anton Chekhov. If you ever get a chance, you got to check out this guy's plays because it is storytelling to the fucking max. I saw the Cherry Orchard, Anton Chekhov play with Diane Lane. And then there was Therese Rakin with Keira Knightley, which that one was fucking bonkers. It was Keira Knightley played the wife, and this pussy husband who the guy's mother lived with them, and then so she plotted to kill both of them with her lover. phenomenal. You guys got to check out Anton Chekhov. That's my plug. But I've seen so many awesome actors like Charlie Cox and
wow,
what the hell is his name? Charlie Cox and the guy that plays Loki.
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston in a play where they're trying to go after the same chick. Fucking phenomenal. If you ever get a chance, like if you're visiting New York, and just check out if a play has a Hollywood actor. I'm actually super pissed. One of my friends like ditched me, and I didn't go see it when Bryan Cranston played All the President's Men. I so wanted to see that.
This is really cool because you have a perspective on these actors and how they truly are when they don't have editing to take care of them.
Well, so Kyle, so the day that I tore my ACL, I actually saw your girl Jennifer Lawrence. I was on my way to the climbing gym, just go to the subway. She was coming this way. I look at her, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, holy fucking shit, that's Jennifer Lawrence. And then she recognizes that I know, and I'm like, all right, just fucking keep going. Like, let's not get into this.
Yeah,
was it the kind of like darting eye effect of?
No. It wasn't darting eyes. We locked eyes, and she's like, "Oh fuck, he knows who I am." That kind of thing. I think she's my bad luck charm because like an hour later, I tore my ACL at the climbing gym. So yeah.
Well, there's stories that she's not as nice and normal as she comes off as.
Oh, dude, she is like complete white trash. I'm not kidding. Like,
well, she literally trashed her family back in Kentucky in the trades and all that stuff about how they're conservatives, etc.
Yeah, no, but there's a ton.
Not very classy, Jenny.
Up here. I remember one day I was going for a walk because I don't know, I had a job where I could take walks at lunch, and I'm walking up Madison Avenue, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, that's Katie Holmes in Surrey. And I had to do a double take because she is not like stick skinny. She's a big girl. She's got a booty.
Wait, who are we talking about? Are we talking about Katie?
Katie Holmes. Yeah.
I hope so. Jeez, come on, man.
Well, Jay Holmes, technically Surrey's 18 now, so.
Well, no. This was like when she was a little girl or whatever.
Well, yeah, this was years ago. You better.
No. I did a double take on Katie Holmes.
Oh my god.
I do need to go though, so.
Yeah, it was great having you.
Sorry to cut out early on you, but I gotta head out.
Yeah,
great to meet you.
Good to talk with you.
Everybody meet everybody
Dark
here.
Hour's channel. What do you got going on your channel, Dark Hour?
I have a live stream this Saturday with Movie Cynic was supposed to be on it, but he's having some personal issues, so he's not gonna make it. But we're doing Pulp Fiction on my channel.
Ooh, nice.
And I'm working on my Ray. We were talking about Ray so much. I'm talking about my Acolyte video, my third one in the series.
Stan.
Yeah. No, my wires are crossed now because we talked about Ray for so long before too. But yeah, I'm working on my third Acolyte video. So
what time Saturday is your
3 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody go check out Dark Hour. His channel's just blowing up now, so feed him some more subs.
I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, peace out.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, other celebrity sightings that I've seen. For the life of me, I'm kicking myself for not like stopping and just grabbing a random fucking piece of paper. I did see Stan Lee once crossing like 63rd and I want to say like 3rd, and I was like, holy fucking shit, that's Stan Lee. He was like walking with like a big portfolio thing, and I'm like,
oh wow.
Yeah, I'm kicking myself that I didn't stop him.
You should have like pushed him over and stolen
He's cool, man. He's like a hippie. Stan Lee was like a hippie.
That'd be a story.
He was really cool.
Yeah.
I saw Jonah Hill. I went to LA for a year. Nothing happened. But I saw Jonah Hill standing on the street on his phone. And I noticed him, and I saw his eyes kind of flicker up, and then I just kept on walking. Because my brother lived out there for years, and he told me to leave them alone, the celebrities alone, unless they approach you or unless it was organic. But it was like one of my first days there. I was like, that's so funny. I'm like, I'm in Hollywood. That's crazy.
I gotta say though, Ben, you're kind of selling yourself short because you've rubbed shoulders literally in social situations with other celebrities that you've told me about.
Well, I was at a cocktail party and I saw any of you know or NFL people. I saw Terrell Owens. He was just standing by.
Shit.
Dude, he was standing by himself. Nobody was talking to him. I was like, you know what? He's an NFL person. So I came up and talked to him, and he was an absolute gentle giant. It was just brief, but he was very sweet. And I just walked away. But I was like, that's an NFL star. None of these Hollywood people are interested in T.O. Like.
Yeah, I guess it sounds like that scene where Biden's like looking around and nobody's talking to him at the whatever it was NATO summit.
Elderly abuse, I tell you, elderly abuse.
You know what, Ben? I'm right with you. It actually is elderly abuse at this point.
My grandma has like Alzheimer.
Yeah.
And I would want to hit someone in the face if they tried putting her on like a public stage. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, it's definitely abusive. Like, it's the family that wants to keep on sucking on the power teat, essentially. But yeah, not to get too political on the channel.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep it to we'll keep it to movies.
But if we can finally defeat Medicaid,
the idea.
Yeah. All right. So Arturelia said, I didn't see any issues with the editing of Dark Knight. Dunkirk had major editing issues.
No, just watch the whole chase sequence. That scene is edited. It's so fucked up the way it's cut. Someone actually did a really good breakdown on YouTube. I don't remember the channels, what it's called right now. But the Dark Knight definitely has some fucked up editing in it. It's still a great movie, but
when they rob or they come out of the stock exchange and all of a sudden it's night. It was
it turns out day and then it turns out night. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, Princess Fiona said Seinfeld is just like some junk in the trunk. Yes, absolutely, I can confirm. And then,
you didn't see Tom Cruise's ass in Valkyrie?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's got a lot of junk in that trunk.
He has a really good German accent in that film.
Yeah, Jennifer, who gives a shit, Lawrence. Yeah, nobody's casting her or Brie Larson at this point.
That's
how Hollywood
just in that, like, really, Larson? How could they resist?
Well, yeah, that movie
they're not
well.
kind actresses. It's a revolving door. Unless they start like playing really like great villains like Meryl Streep did or Charlize Theron.
Yeah. I mean, we actually lost a pretty significant star. Shelley Duvall passed away today.
Yeah, iconic.
Yeah, absolutely. Like The Shining was the shit.
He is so good in The Shining.
Yeah.
Olive oil.
Kind of represented that 1970s unconventional, like, movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The 70s really kind of flipped it up on its head.
She was the one who had to stand the patriarchy of Stanley Kubrick.
He treated her like shit, man.
There's a lot of
he was.
There's a lot of cocaine going in and out of that set.
Which was pretty funny because didn't Stanley Kubrick fake the moon landing?
Right.
I know me and Kyle and Deleted Scenes just watched Fly Me to the Moon.
Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah, you guys got
which
to see
was
that.
I thought that was a great fucking movie.
It's a lighthearted good time. It is.
Yeah.
It's not groundbreaking, but
yeah.
If you're going to see it in the theater, it's because of that Apollo 11 launch.
Yeah.
It's worth it. That's why. That actually brought a tear to my. It made my eyes well because of that.
Yeah.
The positivity and the
positivity and patriotism. Yeah. Love of country, love of humanity. You know,
well said.
A lot of people are anti-human, as Elon Musk would say. We've got a shitload of people watching on Twitter, actually, or on X. So I gotta shout out that platform.
I told you needed to start streaming there.
I know. You got it. And I'm actually streaming to Rumble too. I only have one watcher on Rumble. Howdy. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, what do we got here?
I gotta get going, guys. I do have to get out of here. But thank you so much for having me on here. It's been great.
Nice to meet you, bro. I enjoyed hearing your opinion.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Yeah.
Well, tell us what you're working on.
Yeah, I mean, I throw up videos pretty much 3, 4, 5 times a week, and Star Wars has been kind of the big topic lately. So obviously, be on the lookout for that. I'm starting. I kind of dabble in all pop culture. I like to talk about a little of everything. So just be on the lookout on my channel for that. I got live shows which I've been doing recently. My show's called my channel is called Slav's Free Talk. My podcast, my live show is called Slav's Geek Talk. I'm shifting that to Monday's live show, so be on the lookout for that this coming Monday. And I hope to have maybe some of you or all of you at some point on my show as well. I like to do interviews. I love interviewing, picking people's minds, finding out where you came from, how you got to be where you're at today. That's a lot of fun. So,
dude, I'd love to do that actually if you want to have. But an invite goes out. I'm gonna do a live stream post Deadpool and Wolverine. So come on back.
Yeah.
Slav, I anticipate you putting together this hot take about Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, okay. I got you. No, I have it. I look. I've had this discussion before. I just gotta find my old podcast. Like my old podcast used to be, is called Bridging the Geekdoms. I have a whole discussion all about it there. So I just gotta find it to just get my thoughts back. So I got it there. So don't worry about that.
I'm not just teasing. I'm actually interested for real because this is I've never heard somebody stand up for that movie, but it'd be interesting to get into it with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want to check that out. All right, everybody go subscribe to Slav's channel. Link in the description below. Hopefully it works. If not, DM me on Twitter. I'll fix it. Nice to have you on, Slav.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I will catch you all later. Nice meeting all you.
Nice to meet you. And yeah, I also have to because I'm dumb and I decided to stream every day. So this is already like my second.
Badger, you need a break. You gotta take some breathers in there. You post
once
a lot
the
of content.
addiction starts.
I gotta say, there's you inspire me because I look at the amount of videos that you post consistently, and I can't keep up with that.
I was gonna say 3 deals with the devil a day. 3 videos a day is a deal with the devil. So
have you hit 1,000? Have you hit 1,000 videos yet?
Oh yeah.
You're well
1,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And so I live stream every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on my channel, Badgercast, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on Nerd Wars channel. Catch one of, and then every Monday on Film Threat, Super Chat Reader on their Versus stream. So
full-time dream.
Yeah, and
It's
hopefully
good to see you again, Badger.
future FNT.
Yeah. One day, I see it. People say it in the chat all the time, and so I'm probably gonna meet. I will be meeting Gary at the meetup coming up in San Diego after Comic Con.
I wish he would go to Dragon Con. Try to talk him into going to Dragon Con with Chris. I want to meet him.
Okay, I could try. I mean, they are.
I know
they
Chris
drive.
is coming. I was trying to get Paulie to come, but he's like, no, it's too expensive. So
I will see what I can do.
When's the meetup, Badger?
The 24th.
Okay.
I believe. Gabe Altaib's setting up, and he's got Chris and Alaning and Gary, all the cool kids.
Nice.
So,
Nice, man. We'll have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to Comic Con. I'm just going to show up to wine and dine and meet and greet for 2 hours, then come back so I can go right back to the slave of streaming and videos.
Yeah, you get to have a real life live stream, right? You guys actually get to congregate and real life. That's going to be fucking fun, man.
Thank Gary for radicalizing me. All right, guys. Maybe have a good one.
See you later, Badger.
Yeah. All right. I guess, and then there were 5. Or 6. Sorry, Hard Cut. Sorry.
All good. we are one, so it's okay.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Me and Kyle and Deleted Scenes did the mystery movie night on AMC, which was actually it's been pretty fucking good.
I won't be there next time though.
Yeah.
But I'll be there.
Yeah, I won't be. Yeah, my nephew's arriving that night. I was like, shit. Well, I can't go to the movies while he's on his way into my house. But I'll definitely try to tune in, and hopefully, like Kyle and Sin and everybody can make that one. Yeah, and anybody else, Hardcut. I think you guys would be awesome on the mystery movie night.
Yeah, let us know.
We do it whenever there's a mystery movie. You know, Regal will do a mystery movie Monday. AMC does Screen Unseen, and like pretty much 99.9% of the time, it's the exact same movie that both.
Well, they do it at the same. Yeah, they do it at the same time showing. So AMC and Regal.
Yeah, because we got our
and
AMC
so
passes.
Deleted and I started just talking because we would both go to see the film, and sometimes I'd do a review or like an out of the theater reaction. He would too, and then we just started deciding, why don't we just do a live stream when we get home so we can talk about it, tell everybody what the movie is.
Yeah, no, they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. Sin, thank you for getting me involved.
Well, Well, you're quite welcome.
It's pretty awesome. Hopefully, I can make the next one. My nephew will probably be gone by then because he's only here for a week.
We don't even know. I don't think it's up yet, so I don't know what date.
It's this Monday.
No, I know. Yeah, that one. But you said you couldn't make this.
Oh, yeah. The next one.
Like the next one, I don't know yet what it's going to be.
Yeah.
When it's going to be. So.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun. Kyle, did you have fun on that?
Yeah, it was. The one thing about doing that is I don't get a lot of time to process how I feel about the film. It has to be really kind of instinctive.
Well, that's kind of
the way
point.
I like to do reviews is I'll think about the movie for a few days before I do a recording of a video. Yeah. Put my thoughts together.
Yeah. I usually miss stuff if I go too soon. I know that my Acolyte video, I missed a whole bunch of stuff, but whatever. I've got some funny hot takes, really funny cold open. Which I've actually really started liking doing the cold open because it people stick around your video longer when you do that. That was when I did the something about Mary. I work with retards.
Mm-hmm. Always a great clip to use.
One of the funniest scenes in cinema history. I think
100%.
His line delivery.
Yeah. And then I got to use pop culture memes like the Hawk Tua girl.
Oh gosh, that
I love
the girl that hit lightning in a bottle. It's unbelievable.
I mean, it's insane, and like I've been
just like I think she's like a good person, and I just think she got caught that night just having a good time with the girls, and she just happens to have personality at the wazoo. It's like,
no, I mean, and like I've been following her on Instagram. She seems like a down to earth chick, like totally not full of herself, like very wholesome. She just happened to say one funny thing that like went supersonic. So yeah, I mean, I'd be curious to see if like she would get on YouTube, but she's all over TikTok and Instagram. Hit like 1 million followers in like the span of 2 weeks, which is that's super, like that's stratospheric. Like you've hit like Mach 10.
Yeah, crazy.
But so what? I guess we could wrap it up now that there's way fewer people. But I want to go around the horn.
We're not good enough.
Well, we can keep going.
I gotta get going. Actually, I have family visiting right now, so
Nice.
So this is a good place to wrap it up.
2 hour mark. It doesn't feel as long as 2 hours. So cool.
No. We like the Acolyte discussion was fairly natural. But yeah, let's go around the horn. Starting ladies first. Sin, what do you got going on?
So while we were live, one of my latest reviews went up for Indian language movie Kill. And then earlier this week I had review for Maxine. I've also got a review coming up at some point for the Kevin Costner movie.
Okay.
And
Horizon.
Yeah, that.
So Sin, may I ask, do you recommend Maxine and Horizon?
So
I trust your recos.
Okay, so I liked Maxine more than X.
Okay.
I was not as impressed with Horizon as I felt like I should be, given how freaking long that movie was. And of course tomorrow I'm going to go see Longlegs.
Nice. Okay.
So looking forward to that, and got some more movies lined up to watch. Some stuff I've been watching at home that I need to review. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and I have a live stream tomorrow. My channel's 5-year anniversary, so I'm going to.
Oh, fun!
Nice.
Yeah.
What time's that?
5 year?
5-year, yeah. I think I scheduled it for 7:30 because I thought I was gonna be in a business meeting from 4 to whenever, but that's been canceled. So I don't know. Depending on how efficient my schedule is tomorrow, I might bump it up a little earlier, but I don't know. I usually just get on there and I just chat with the people that pop in on the comments, just about anything.
Yeah.
So.
I'll try and make an appearance in the comment section. I do have an interesting evening planned with a buddy of mine. We're going to be engaging in a little shroom action.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Pick the right movie.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd The Wall.
Honestly, you know what? Like
Bambi.
movies TV do nothing for me when I'm tripping. it's like still images that just start like moving. I'm like, holy fucking shit.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. Yeah, everybody go check out Sin's channel. It's growing a lot, so keep on trucking.
I will try.
And I guess Ben, since you're a newbie to the channel, what have you got going on?
After this, I gotta get ready for a callback audition for a Whataburger commercial.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got dialogue, so hey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I did my first commercial last year, and then I thought that was gonna get things going.
Yeah.
Nope, nothing. I still got a lot of better opportunity auditions, but this.
I want to interrupt because you're not getting into enough detail. I think like, you said you did your first commercial. He was in the Bud Light commercial that was trying to revamp the shit that they did with the Mulvaney chick. He was the dude. He was the dude with the keg stand who was trying to open it up, and it spewed in his face.
No
That's
shit.
Ben.
Bro,
nice.
Dad needs to go look it up
glory.
now. I gotta go find it.
Yeah, I think they might have pulled it from YouTube because it was getting bad backlash.
Hey,
it afforded me to.
this year.
Comment
I was
section
able to
turned off
buy
at
my
least.
lady's engagement ring, her wedding ring, our place, so I was fat and happy.
This is what I love about Ben. He's so fucking humble, and I am happy to be here to bolster the legitimacy of what the fuck he's talking. His kindness, his personality, his work. He's fucking legit.
Kyle, you're very sweet, my brother.
So Ben, if you ever get a chance, one of my favorite corny commercials that comes on like every goddamn day is the National Floors Direct commercial with the really hot looking cougar.
I'm sure if I saw it, I'd recognize it.
I love her. I'm in love with her. Like, make sure you do a commercial with her.
Commercials are really good to do as an actor. You know, you first get into acting, you're like, I don't want to be in a commercial. But like once you start your first paychecks for it, you're like, I like doing commercials.
Residuals.
You know what I mean? You're like,
no, it's straight. Yeah.
But, so my Instagram is at Benjamin J. Slack. I just started in 2022, and I'm trying to get that going because I know that all the young, up-and-coming casting directors are going to be all about social media, so I have to. And then my YouTube channel is Benjamin J. Slack, pretty plain. So
nice. Yeah, everybody go check that out. Get some subs. And speaking of subs, Kyle's at 993. Come on, guys. 28 people watching right now. Go subscribe to Kyle's channel. For fuck's sake.
I like the line that you say, Paul, in your videos. You say you subscribe and it's free. There's no cost to you doing it. Like I think that's very true, and it's not gonna. There's no downside to doing it. In fact, it's an upside because I happen to think that the videos that I do, the reason that I don't have as many, I don't have 1,000 fucking videos as the great Angry Badger does, and good on him for doing that. Is I want to focus on videos specifically to create the best quality that I can.
Yeah.
So it is a matter of quality over quantity. I know there's a downside to it.
Yeah.
But I just personally want to be able to look at a catalog. It's the same reason. Like I love music, and I've listened to a lot of interviews with artists, and they don't want to put out a copious amount of music to just service the audience. They actually want to put a record together and to be proud of it. And so that's the same method in which I approach the videos that I make. Is one, I need to give a shit about the movie or the topic that I'm talking about, and it has to mean something to me. Even if it's a bad movie, like Barbie, for example, if there are downsides to it, and I walked into it hoping that it was going to be really good, and it let me down, I'm going to tell you about it. Yeah, but if it's a movie that I just don't have any motivation to see, like
I saw the TV Glow, the one that I'm getting destroyed on YouTube for. That movie sucked, by the way. I still stand by that opinion.
I can't. That's the thing is, like, I can't. I'm not even coming up with a title that I just didn't have a motivation to see that film. There are plenty of films that I've watched, but I just don't do a video on them because they just don't make me they don't make me excited.
Yeah.
So when I see a film that you see a video that I put out, it means that I give a shit.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
and that actually really
feedback.
comes across, especially with their bike riders video.
Mhm.
My message, where it's totally free to subscribe. I actually kind of like modified. There's some chick in New York who's like a New York City vlogger, Taylor Bell. She kept like when she was rising up. I think she's like at like 500,000 now, but she kept saying, "Yeah, it's like totally free. Subscribe."
Mhm.
Not taking a dime from this, and yeah. So I was like, that's a good line. But yeah, and hard cut. What have you guys got going on? I loved your Hitman review. Everybody go check that out so we can get that over 1,000 views for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I thought that would do that on its own. You know.
We're seeing Long Legs this weekend, so we got that coming up.
That's our next review, Long Legs, and then we've got a pretty solid lineup for the next few weeks. After that, we got Twisters.
Oh yeah.
And then after that is Deadpool.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
And then I think the following week is a lull. And then we got Borderlands. There's a good Alien Romulus.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna be doing.
Matt's
reviews.
excited for that one.
Yeah, we'll be doing.
I'm foolishly excited about that one.
Yeah.
I'm fully aware that it's probably.
I'm trying to tell you this, man. I think you.
No, dude, I am fully aware that it could be a total piece of shit. Like yes. So, but the trailer does have me excited. It's a good trailer.
Yeah.
So
it's a good trailer, and I'm sure Twisters is probably gonna,
Twisters will probably suck too, but I'm looking forward to it.
I have heard it's actually very good, but that doesn't mean anything.
Good time.
Sin's got the early screeners.
Yeah. So speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, I want to get the next live stream on the 1st. Y'all are all invited. Let's talk Deadpool and Wolverine, and I guess the end of Acolyte, and whatever else comes up between.
We might end up doing one final Acolyte video
with the girls.
We're gonna bring the girls back.
With the wigs. Oh,
By the way, wait, hold on a second. Do you have names for those girls?
Oh, you need to.
My name, mine's Maddie. And his is Bobby with an
I, and he's Maddie with an I. With an I.
You guys, that review, I have to say, I was watching it while I was like exercising, and probably not the best thing because I started laughing, and it's not good to be laughing while you're swinging the kettlebell around. Let's just say,
we almost caused an accident. Cool. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I almost spit my drink out. That's
well, we're gonna do a little post-mortem on the series with the girls, and we might throw in a little musical number. For
amazing! Can't wait.
Yeah, Bobby, you had me laughing really when you said was it Matt or it was one of you who said, Tell me so hard.
Yeah.
So hard. But what do you guys? I can't remember who it was. What do you say that? Tell me harder. That's what got me. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, those videos are a lot of fun, and they do pull in a lot of attention.
How much hate did you get?
Next to none.
Yeah,
nice.
Maybe like
overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, like 99% like to dislike ratio.
Amazing.
So
it's pushing it to the right audience.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, and the girls have popped out. They've popped up in front of a few reviews, and whenever we put them in a review, the review always does very well.
Yeah, check out our Indiana Jones review.
Our Indiana Jones review. That was their debut in the beginning. That was the debut of the girls, and then we brought them back for the Marvels, and then Madam Web.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I think for one of the live streams, we really have to get the girls on.
I don't know if we can sustain that for that long.
That's hard.
There's so much fucking editing in those videos because we're just laughing.
You were I know. It was hard.
We'll just be sitting there twirling our hair the whole time and just making snide remarks about men.
Amazing. Yeah, so as I mentioned, next Thirsty Thursdays is going to be on the 1st. And I really want to put out another video because the first one I had a blast making. My Demolition Man video. Demolition Man tried to warn you. The next one will be Enemy of the State tried to warn you. which I gotta, I mean, it's like a huge, like 4,000, 5,000 word script, so it takes a while to put together. But looking forward to that. Then another Acolyte video coming probably tomorrow.
I gotta ask, how did you? So for the audience that doesn't know, in the last stream that we did for deleted scenes, we talked about Passengers because it was space related. And I sent Paul a cut that I did called the Aurora cut, in which it showed Jennifer Lawrence's character waking up first before Chris Pratt's character.
Oh, nice.
So what did you think about that cut that I sent you, if you've watched it?
So I only watched 20 minutes of it because I thought it was 30 minutes. And I'm like, I looked down and I'm like, fuck, it's an hour and 40 minutes.
No, it gives you the entire experience of what it would be like to watch that film in a reversed order.
I need to devote like the day, like a night to see it, and I think I'll do that on Saturday. Actually, I'm free on Saturday, so dude, that was it's really well cut, man. Chef's kiss.
Thank you. Well done. That's it's an entirely different experience when you see that version of the film. And
I mean, what I would do if I were you is post it on Rumble, because I don't think like they give a shit about copyright, and just have it run the Aurora cut.
It's interesting because when you get to the place, because I don't think you've gotten there yet. You've not gotten to the place where when it's revealed that Chris Pratt woke her up, it reverses back in time, and then we get to see Pratt's character's experience.
Yeah.
Right. So, anyway, the reason I bring it up is obviously I sent it to you, and it'd be a discussion of a film that I consider one of the best of the last decade.
I need to watch it.
I'm in the minority, I think, with that.
What streaming app can I watch it on? What streaming service? I need to watch it.
I don't think it is, man. But I can.
I can rent it. I'll probably rent it for like $3.
Check Letterboxd or just watch. Let me see.
Watch,
You're talking about Passengers.
It's probably on Prime.
Or it's also on Shout Out Yiffy. The high seas.
Yeah. Nice.
Which actually, you know what else is on the high seas now?
It's on Stars for streaming right now.
Yeah, they fucking conditioning audiences to not go to the theater by releasing these movies on streaming.
I hate that.
Pissing me off.
I hate that.
Yeah. It's a mistake.
I saw it the second time. I took my brother to see it last Saturday, and really enjoyed it all over again. Just because, well, I mentioned in my review, my uncle was a biker, and his name was Ben. Which is funny, and his sister, my mom, her name was Kathy, so that's really funny that the two leads in there were Ben and Kathy. But he had friends in the Outlaws, which is the gang that story what were they? The Vandals was based on the Outlaws.
Yeah.
And I was digging to try to find out, did Uncle Ben ride with the Outlaws? Was he part of the Outlaws? And I asked some people that knew him back in the day when he was in the club, and no, it was another gang. He was more like a what's the word? He was
on the periphery.
He wasn't like really officially attached.
Oh, okay.
He was kind of like a free agent type of thing.
Associated, but not
something like that. The gang that he rode with was, I can't remember too, but anyway, whatever. I felt a kinship to these characters, which felt really weird, and it made me sad because my uncle's gone, and I miss him, and he was my only uncle. Like, I have great uncles, but he was my only actual direct uncle.
Well, that's cool.
So I just have a really soft spot in my heart for that film.
I really appreciated when you brought that up in your review. When we have chances to share some connection we have to stories and movies that come out, I think we should take that opportunity to make it more personal to the audience that are watching it, because it's a genuine connection that you're making to it, and then thereby the audience can see how much that means to you.
And that's the whole point of cinema, is to bring people together like that with that emotional connection.
Yeah.
For sure.
But that's a good note. Yeah, that's a good note to leave off, because I've kind of extended the.
No. That's actually a fantastic.
And Matt's getting bored. He's yawning a bit.
I've got 3 fucking kids downstairs right now that I have to go.
That's right. We were saying we were wrapping up, and you
all good.
All right.
keep going. So much
Nice
fun
to meet
talk
you guys.
Yeah,
nice to meet you guys.
Great to meet you as well, Benjamin.
Bye, everybody out there in Radio Land.